Well, hello, boys and girls. How's everyone doing today? We got our faithful players today. There's a little bit of a change, as you see. Kyle's not running the game today. I'll be doing that. Romulus, I'll be the dungeon master today for the Tales of the Knights Past, the Ruin of Thornbush. This will be a very short two-session mini campaign until the Grand Master King Kyle gets back, and we're gonna just have a good time with it. It's supposed to take place shortly before the very first adventure, the first session we had with Kyle running the game. So this is basically the first time that the party has assembled together, with the exception of one or two players, meeting for the first time and being sort of indoctrinated to the Knights Remnant. With that, I don't think we have to give any introductions to anyone. You should know who everyone is at this point if you're a faithful follower, hopefully so. And let's get to it.
Hello, first-time viewers.
Very helpful.
First-time viewers.
Welcome.
How y'all doing?
Okay.
You'll figure it the fuck out.
Yeah. Yes, you will.
And you'll
Okay.
swim in the deep
So
end.
let's go ahead and push you over to the Yartar map. With that being said, all right. You've all been summoned by the Knights Remnant to link up with a man named Alexander. This individual is a Lord Magistrate of the Knights Remnant over the city of Yartar. He's responsible for processing new recruits and dealing with cases from civil offenses to criminal proceedings. He's very commonly known to be lawful neutral. He is a man of law and follows it very literally and conservatively. Due to his neutral interpretation of the law, he was approved by the Order of the Knights Remnant in a landslide victory of this section or chapter of the Knights Remnant. It's rumored, though, that some of the campaign was funded by less reputable sources, but during an investigation by the former Lord Marshal McCormick of the Knights Remnant, he found that although the money may have come from criminal sources, no laws were actually broken. He is a fair judge and neither merciful nor vengeful in his sentencing, although is known for his colorful description and quite frank explanations. You're to link up with him and meet him in the grand city of Yartar. And for those that don't know, Yartar is a very heavily ported city. It's along the river. It handles most of the commercializing, shipping, and trading for most of the Sword Coast and continues west into Waterdeep. We're going to get over the little small things and just say that you've already been summoned and you're already at Yartar, and you are to meet him at the port early in the day to get your assignment, and where you'll be meeting each other for the first time. With that, all of you are gathered in the port of the city. It's a busy city. You can hear all of the activity, movement, the horses, everyone's working, all types of characters, all types of races here, mingling with each other, doing what needs to be done. And it's not taken lightly, right? Here, time is money and money is time, and they don't mess around. And you can see this gruff looking man, again, Alexander. And you can clearly see that there's no bluster or boastfulness to him. Nothing about his clothes or equipment exists for show. Everything from the way he wears his weapons to the patched armor that he has speaks of hard-won battle experience, and he doesn't seem to have many losses. Even the rings that he wears on his calloused fingers look more like they're made for fighting than decoration. He sees you gathering in the distance, can easily identify you as the new recruits for the Knights Remnant. He kind of bites into his teeth as he kind of growls and goes, come on, let's go. I ain't got all fucking day. Let's go. Time is money. Get over here so you can get your assignments. Hurry up. I'm waiting. Any day, sweethearts. Come on.
Well, he's in a damn of a hurry, isn't he?
What do you all do?
I walk over there kind of slowly.
Richter walks over there even more slowly. Just
Anybody doing
sauntering
anything?
on up.
Anybody else doing anything particular? Okay. He sees you all kind of like slowly moving inching towards him. He kind of does like this exasperated look. Oh, for fuck's sake. He goes and he kind of steps into you, right, and moves on to you. He goes, let's go, let's go. He goes, it seems that you're the next lucky bunch here. They're really scraping the bottom of the barrel, sending me likes of you. Ah, I read
Well,
your...
now, Granther, there's no cause for insults.
Oh, no, my boy. I'm not insulting you. I've just seen men made of much sterner stuff than you. Look at you, covered in metal from top to bottom. And with this one. And he kind of like looks at Lorelei for a second. And they don't make them any more charming or beautiful than you. But I was quite curious to read about you. I won't embarrass you here, but just know I've got my eyes on you. And you, over there, they say that you speak to someone that's not even there. Is that true?
I mean, just because you can't see him don't mean he's not there.
It means he's not fucking real. That's what it means.
I mean, he'll say hi. I summon my brother next to me and he waves hi.
He kind of takes a step back. He goes, oh, that's why they have you joining.
Alright.
You're probably some type of scion who can't even focus his abilities. And you, what of you? Look at your strange attire. Standing here. Not even a half-breed of some type. And he's looking at you, Kenji.
I look around like, me? And you want to talk about how you're dressed? Look at those rings.
He's very
Man, you sure do talk a lot of shit for somebody waiting to pick us up at the port.
He's very proud. He kind of like flicks over his rings, right? They got like little spikes and stuff. And he goes, and this other one. Look at you. He goes, there was a time that the Nethero race was not respected here in these lands. But modern times make for modern men. I guess you should all introduce yourselves unless you expect me to do that for you as well. I'll be waiting. Again, time is fucking money.
Oi, what the fuck's wrong with me armor?
Well, are you going to introduce yourselves to each other? You'll be working together to get a simple contract done. You'll be dealing with some druids that are bothering a small hamlet that got lucky enough and discovered some type of gold mine, and it could prove quite useful. Do not fail at this task. We're to get a 10% tithe of the mine, and at all cost, you will be rid of these druids, these eco-terrorists. They're no good, I say, as he spits to the bottom.
No, seriously, I've been working hard on this. What the fuck's wrong with the armor?
It's fine to me.
He goes, oh, you're a funny one.
Like a
You
good
can
set
come
of
on
armor to
over
me.
and fuck my sister later, huh? Would that make you feel better?
I mean,
Man,
as long as she
am I
doesn't
you
speaking
went
to
straight
common?
to letting him fuck your sister, didn't you?
Oh,
Like,
God.
there wasn't anything else in your head, was there? It was like, that's your go-to, man? Like,
That's what you jump
your
to?
sister must be an easy lay.
He goes, oh, the sarcastic bunch. Well, we'll see if you hold together when the sword and the spells come a-casting your way. If you won't introduce yourselves, I guess I'll do it for you. This man covered in armor, and you see he's got like a series of folders, like on his little table, right? And you could kind of see your names. And, think of a bad episode of like Suicide Squad, right? Where they have like your names, and you can see a little thing. And it's the one you see, like in one of them, it says Fiend. In another one, it says Half Elven. And you can see little details, but just not enough as you kind of peer into his desk that's got like weights, a signet ring, and that kind of thing. And he says, well, so the pretty one here, her name is Lorelei. Lorelei, step forward. Don't be shy. Come on now.
Looking at her, I reckon telling her what to do is a good way to get stabbed in the neck whenever you're asleep.
She's just harmless. All bark and no bite. He goes, and this one, covered from metal from top down. One of the new wizards, I think, that focus all their arcane arts upon their armors and weapons, thinking they're fighters, and maybe eventually they'll learn that it's muscle and strength that gets things done. This one is named Russell. Russell, are you going to be just as shy as our little fiend over here?
Seriously, I worked hard on this bloody armor. I set a village on fire to get this armor just right. What the fuck's wrong with it? You got a
Sure.
complaint? Spit out, shorty.
Well, very well. And this one here, the one that's just being very sarcastic and dry and thinks he's quite goddamn funny. Well, this one here, this one is named none other than Richter. Richter, say hi to the comrades that are going to be keeping you alive the next few days.
Hey y'all, my name's Richter. I like booze and I like fighting. It's nice to meet y'all's acquaintance. I'm not to
Quite-
meet yours.
I think we're gonna get along just fine, lad.
And least, but most certainly, and last and most certainly not least, the other one is Kenji, Nenji,
His
はじめまして。僕は吉岡健一です。どうぞよろしくお願いします。But you can just call me Ken or Kenichi.
I'll never understand Sylvan. He goes, but
Jesus.
enough of the formalities. I've got a few of the bums over there that didn't make the cut, setting up a carriage for you, a small cart with the draft horse. That's all you're getting. A small stipend of 100 gold coins. Make your way to the town of Thornbush. Just stick to the main road. Keep the river to your right. You can't fucking miss it. Once you're there, you're to link up with the Edler Keaton. You'll know the fat fuck when you see him.
Alright, so is that like 100 gold each or 100 gold for the group?
100 gold for the group.
Okay.
You see that the cart is actually a well-constructed cart. It's not a closed cart. It's an open single cart with one draft horse. The draft horse is a little old for its age. Hasn't been groomed or breeded very well, but at least the supplies are practical. They're not new, but you got like soldier tents, you got blankets, you got things like that to keep you safe, rations, water for a long travel to get you to Thornbush, which is for without even having to roll or do anything, you realize is about a 2-day travel to Thornbush. He then says, so, look, I don't need to remind you that you've all been conscripted to the Knights Remnant. Just do what's best. I'd hate for some of you to lose your heads. Well, with that being said, go along, make your merry way. Time is money, and money is time.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
go. I'm gonna walk along the docks for a minute, just like walk kind of away and try to find a really strong sailor.
Oh, there's plenty of those, man. Yeah.
Once I'm like out of
Laborman.
earshot, I'm
Okay.
gonna tap one on the shoulder and say, "How much would it cost to get you to hit a man?"
He looks at you and he goes, am I hitting you?
No, not me. Someone I'd just kind of work for. He's a dick of a boss.
Well, it depends who I'm hitting. Who would that be?
That guy screaming over there about how time is money, and I gesture kind of.
You could keep your fucking money. That guy's
God
nothing
damn
but
it.
trouble.
All right, and I'll go rejoin the group.
And you kind of like, you're like, God damn it. People seem to be sort of frightened of him. And right away, he's like already ignoring you. Like, you're like, okay, that's it. And he's kind of like already directing people. Oh, you fucking idiot. You're too slow. Let's go. Time is money. Come on, come on. We ain't got time to waste. They don't pay you by the hour. You know, and he's like already ignoring you and just kind of walking away from you. And you're just like, okay. With like sailors and tradesmen and people walking past you wondering like, okay. And they make note of you, your adventures, your experienced adventures at that. And to be conscripted so late into your careers is quite unusual.
Right, well, that was something. Shall we get this show on the road?
Is that a yes?
I mean, I guess that time is money, so we'd better.
Yeah, well.
Forget him. I just want to get away from the docks. I don't think it's people have ever heard of soap.
No.
I would agree.
So, um,
So, I already introduced myself. Who exactly are all you people? I know Ken.
Well, like the loud fella said, I'm Russell. I hit things, and I occasionally magic stuff too.
That seems useful. What about you? With the one moment. Just scroll down, find this real quick. So sorry.
it's all good.
What about you with the pink hair?
Well, as she's not even been acknowledged by the
Yeah,
by Alexander,
exactly.
as if she doesn't even fucking matter. She kind of in with some sort of tried to scrape together some sort of dignity and introduces herself. I'm Kara. Well, it doesn't really matter, but I guess I'm here working with the rest of you.
What'd you do to get in this pickle?
I have certain talents. I can. She kind of flexes an arm and clenches her fist, and the in like a spectral outline of like twice the size encases her arm. And she's like, yeah, I got some skills. I suppose I
Oh
could be
shit! Do
useful.
you have a dead sibling too?
Not quite, not
Oh,
quite.
Richter looks sad, like he might have lost the opportunity to make a friend.
I'm sure we can get along just fine.
Yeah,
So,
you
that's so
definitely
sad.
understand what I'm going through.
He's so lonely.
Kara's gonna turn to who was introduced as Lorelei and see you and kind of ask, well, what's going on with you? I haven't heard you say a word. I know he wasn't quite very respectful towards you, but
I'm not interested in making friends. I'm here to get this over with.
well, I mean that's fair. I can't exactly blame you for that.
Yeah.
Right, fascinating. Now, really, is there something wrong with the armor? What was he talking
There's
about?
nothing wrong with your fucking
I
armor. I
like
think
it.
Oh,
he's
thank you.
just I think he's just a dickhead.
Aye,
It's
agreed. Just, you work so hard on something, and if you miss something obvious, you hope people will tell you instead of, being dicks about it.
Yeah,
I mean, it's a little coppery looking.
Oh, aye, that's to act as transistors to help channel magical energies through it. See, if you
When's the
just tried
last
to
time you
enchant
cleaned
pure
it?
steel, uh,
Oh
built
my
it
god.
yesterday morning,
Hmm.
does it smell? There's something wrong with it.
Don't
I
worry
think
about it.
everything here smells.
I think it's just the docks.
It might
Yeah.
just
Right,
be the
right.
docs.
I feel like if I walked behind you, I couldn't see through your, through your space. There's a lot of smoke coming out of it.
Oh, aye, don't worry about that. It should go away eventually. It's because I just started the thing up.
Oh,
I fixed the
okay.
problem
Yeah.
with flames coming out the back yesterday, I think.
You are very
Hopefully.
confident in your creation. I'll tell you that right now.
Man, genius.
I'm
I
happy
guess
to
we'll
have you.
find out how that works then.
Oh, aye. Shall we?
Yeah, we
Before we
should.
go, does anyone know anything about horse grooming?
No,
I
not
I
a clue.
actually do. I like horses.
You want to have give this horse a look over before we head out? Looks like it hasn't been given any TLC in a while.
I'll do that real quick. I'll take a look over the horse. I'll open up its mouth, see if there's any problems. Take a look at its shoes, see when the last time it got resold was.
Go ahead and make an animal handling roll.
All right.
There you go.
All right. So yeah, you realize that the beast is a little old, but it's practical. It's got good horseshoes. It's made for travel. It's not groomed well. It's made to work, and it seems very akin to you. It takes kindly to you.
She's a little bit musty, but she'll get us there.
All right. Well, we'll give her a good rub down when we camp for the night.
Okay. So is it safe to assume that you guys are going to head out, handle your last minute affairs in the city, and head out to the town? Yes.
I mean, we have 100 gold.
For the
Do we
whole,
want to spend
the
that
whole,
on like?
the 5 of us. Yeah.
I mean, do we want to spend that on like ration? Are the
Well, we
rations
have
provided?
everything.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
we've
have.
got
Yeah,
everything we need.
yeah. You were given
Do we
like
wanna
climbing
see
kits,
if-
rations, things like that.
Do we want to see if maybe we can purchase something that might be useful? I don't know, a couple
Like a
a
couple
vial
healing
of
potions.
healing potions, or
Potion?
alchemical fire.
We could look around.
Yep. If you want to buy a healing potion, that'll cost you about 50 gold.
I definitely don't think we should spend all of our money here.
Just grab one for emergencies, huh?
Does anyone have any healing potions?
I mean, I assume not.
No,
I
I,
don't
I
think
do
we
know a
much
bit
got
of
it.
I have like 3 of
healing,
them.
but no potions.
Do we have in our provisions? Do we have any oil?
You have lamp oil.
Okay, then maybe we should get one alchemist fire in case we need to make like a big carpet bomb.
Alchemist
I
fire,
like
or
the
like
way
a
you
couple
think.
bags of like can.
Alchemist fire, I believe, runs for 25 gold.
All right, so like a thing of alchemist fire, and then maybe like a thing of caltrips for shrapnel, or
Okay.
ball bearings.
Yeah, that'll do it. Okay. So you buy a thing of alchemist fire, some caltrops. Did you want the healing potion or not? Yeah,
Oh,
we'll say there's a sale, and for 75 gold, they'll let you take it all.
how many is all?
That would be the one healing potion, bag of ball bearings, a bag of caltrops, and one alchemist fire flask.
What do y'all think?
75
We only
gold.
have 100 gold, and this is 3/4 of it.
So
I mean,
essentially, we'd be getting caltrops and ball bearings for free.
pretty
Yeah.
much.
That'd do it.
Yeah, might as well. We've got the rest of anything we might need anyway. We're not gonna shouldn't
Can we
need much
say
gold
it's-
for anything else.
Can we say it's 2 bags of caltrops and 2 bags of ball bearings?
You bargain and you haggle with him, and you know what? He feels you. He's one of the ones who still believes that the Knights Remnant is a noble cause. He agrees.
All right.
All right, I'm cool with that. If everyone else is, we've got everything else taken care of. The only thing we would need it for is to bribe, and any guard is going to look at 5 gold like a shitload of gold.
Mm-hmm.
Because it is.
Yeah.
Correct.
It is.
It's like
This is Forgotten Realms.
$500.
Yeah. Okay. So with that, you guys head out. Yeah.
Yep.
I believe so. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm
we're
gonna go
gonna-
ahead and add one of the bags of caltrops and one of the bags of ball bearings to myself.
All right, cool. All right, so let me change this. So you make your way. The travel goes very uneventful. You camp along the main road. It's secured quite well. There's not much of a threat. It's not like a lonely road. You guys kind of learn to deal with each other just a little more. It's assumed that you've spoken with each other on the travel. We're not going to spend too much time with that just to kind of get things going. So everyone excuse the lack of role playing there just so we can get to where we need to go. But yeah, so I just want to stress that for 2 nights, you're able to deal with each other. Whoever does the watch, the cooking, it's uneventful. In fact, it's actually a pleasant trip of just enjoying the travel on a main road, camping on the side. The provisions that were given to you were iron rations. Standard rations mixed in with that. They actually gave you a little bit of wine as well, right? So they, believe it or not, they supplied you quite well to make your travel pleasant. It's the least they can do since you've been conscripted and you're going onto an assignment, and they want you well fed, sleeping well, and not cold and not warm, right? So at least you can understand that their equipment is practical, and whoever assembled this is obviously someone who is experienced in adventuring, knowing the little things that you need to make your stay a little more pleasant, right? Your travel a little more pleasant. With that being said, let's move on to the next thing here. As you all make your way to Thornbush, you smell the place before you can even see it. The unmistakable odor of civilization, wood smoke, cow dung, and the stink of pigs. You round the bend and see thatched roofs on low buildings scattered around muddy fields. From somewhere on the other side of the village, you hear dogs barking. A farmer leans on his shovel, wiping sweat from his dirt-streaked brow. A hunter, garbed in leathers and furs, hones the edge of an arrowhead and watches you as you walk into the hamlet. A parent and her 2 young children travel with armloads of apples, handing them cheerfully to anyone who makes eye contact. An important looking villager leads with a sagging gut and crinkled eyes who seems to speak quite softly while others are gathering around him. The boys come and the children all gather around and start pulling at your clothing and offering you apples. What do you do?
I'll take one.
Absolutely. I'll grab an apple and happily munch on it.
You take a look, and you have like a series of boys and girls of different varying ages, some as 7, some as much as 12, but they're fascinated by you, right? They don't see adventurers, especially some in copper armor and wearing swords, and these kids are like, oh my gosh, we've been expecting you. The Edler's been expecting you all. And they seem rather fascinated by the man in the copper suit. So they're kind of like tugging at things. Some are like poking at him, and like a little bit of steam sort of comes out, and they kind of run off. And some of the boys are very fascinated with Lorelei, right? They've never seen anyone so stunning and so attractive and beautiful. I mean, well, she's got killer charisma, right? Like, and especially we all know what she really is.
Oh my god.
Actually,
Okay.
nobody should know what she
Yeah,
is.
yeah,
at
that's
this
it.
point.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
exactly
no.
what I'm getting at. Right? And right, so these boys are really, the boys are kind of like almost focused on Lorelei, but all the like the girls and the sharper minds of the children are really focused on the man in the copper armor, and they're like, are you here? Are you here to drive the the, the, the bad man away?
Oh, I will give it a try, wee ones. Now, careful, do not burn yourself on the steam pipes.
Oh,
And get a
now
wee
it's
bit hot.
Oh, this is so great. The Edler said that the Night Remnant were going to come and visit and take care. Uh, that we're all gonna. That the town is gonna be prosperous. That this mine is gonna be everything. And oh gosh, this is like the best day of my life. Oh my gosh. And then some of the other boys kind of gather around, and they're kind of like they're looking around and pulling at some of the things in the apples, and this fat sagging gut of a man is got like some of the townsfolk with him, right? He's obviously this important person, and this is exactly what he looks like. You notice this large man has got fine clothing draped around his fat body that compromises a wide array of fabrics from the city of Yartar. He carries himself with an air of easy superiority, a confidence born of wealth and power, as well as responsibility and no doubt influence. You suspect he's not a native born of this hamlet. You notice a signet ring adorns his one finger, embossed with the sigil of his house, a reminder of where he belongs and whom he serves. He kind of makes his way up to you, right? You're kind of like in the center of the village, and he's kind of holding his back, his big fat gluttonous gut, and he's like, he goes, I'm so glad to see you all. He goes, I assume that you're here under the contract that we give 10% of our mine's earnings to the Knight's Remnant. Which of you speaks for the others?
I'm gonna go ahead and say that not any of us are particularly thrilled to be here, but if everyone's okay with it, I don't mind talking to them.
Why not?
What about
When
you,
you
say-
Ken? You wanna volunteer yourself for this?
Matt,
All right.
I have negative charisma, so maybe somebody else should be the face. Just saying.
He's like grabbing. He's like that guy who like this around his big gut, and he's kind of like, as you're all kind of talking to each other. No, maybe you should. I'm not really the face, and he's kind of like confused almost, right? He doesn't seem particularly bright.
Yeah. I'm the one talking. How you doing, man?
No, I'm quite good. I hope your travel fared well.
Actually, yeah, the wine was pretty good, as was the food.
What Wonderful. He goes, it's good to see you all in spirits. I don't understand the somber look some of you have. You're the Knights Remnant, a noble cause that fights for justice, law, and the order of the Sword Coast.
Oh, trust me, we all know what that Knights Remnant reputation is, but none of us are here by choice.
What?
At
What?
least I don't think so. Kara, are you here by choice?
I mean, I'm here. I'm here to help.
Are they threatening you with imprisonment and maybe death?
That, I have not heard anything about that. I,
Okay, okay.
I,
One of
I.
us.
Wait. Hold on.
Actually, I'm not a conscript either.
Oh,
I'm just here looking for my brother.
Ken, why didn't you tell me that? What's your brother look
Never
like?
asked.
He's like, conscripts? I thought they only did that, but I'm confused. Uh, we're paying good money for a good service.
Oh, trust
Yeah.
me,
And
I have plenty of experience as a merc, and you'll get your money's worth.
Huh. Oh, okay. Please come with me. We established a wonderful feast. I'm sure along your travels you're wanting some real food. We have exceptional cooks here. The least we can do is feed you, keep you warm, and give you the best lodgings we can provide. You see, literally what he did was he extended someone's home and obviously evicted someone and converted it into like a shared common area, right? Because that's how small the hamlet is, and he's like very excited to feast here. You're like you're heroes here. Everyone, like the kids are following you. Everything stops. Everyone's gawking and seeing at you, and they seem rather fascinated by all of your grand entrance. Even though all you did was just come in this unkept horse, probably that he slightly maintained along the 2 days travel. But he's excited. It's almost like he wants to show you his village, right? That you can clearly see the entire village from where you're at, right? And he says, well, I would love to hear all of your stories. I'm sure you have many. Uh, the deeds and rumors and tales of the Knights Remnant are spread across these lands, and I would love to hear them, as I have no doubt that men and women such as yourselves are honorable and quite capable of doing what needs to be done. Please, uh, we set this
So,
up.
this house the result of something that was honorable or something that needed to be done?
Well, you're our guest, and the least we can do is give you uh, shelter. Uh, you know, we stacked all the beds with feathers, and everyone did a potluck in the village to feed you, and you're our guest, and we want to do right by you. Uh, my mother always said that a well-fed man will be a happy man and will do the right thing for you, and the least I can do is that and cater to the women. We have ladies in waiting that will hem and fix anything you need and handle it. We have stable boys that'll take care of your horse. Please get those backpacks off. Make yourselves comfortable so I can tell you what's been happening, and we could parlay over some good food, beer, and or wine.
Well, I can worry about the rest later, but yeah, sure, I want some beer.
Laura grabs a bottle of wine and
Uh-huh.
then walks back outside.
So when you come outside, all the boys plus a few of the girls, right, are all kind of like looking at you, and they're just like fascinated by you, right? Like you're very striking. Most of the women here are very hardened women, right? You're very close to the north, to the savage north, and so these are hardened Amazonian-looking women. That they don't shave their legs. They don't reek of perfume. You're not in the city. A lot of them don't even right. And so here you are, this like petite, like attractive, like divine female, and you could you're getting either envy from the better or more attractive women in the town, or you're getting a lot of like sneers, right? Like, man, so you could just feel all eyes are on you. And, the further you try to get away with it, everyone sort of keeps their distance, but they're following.
God. Um, Lorelai's just gonna set up, like, just sit on the riverbank, kind of like in a nice spot of grass, and just gonna chill with her bottle of wine, occasionally sipping, but just trying to ignore everyone.
Oh, okay. Easier said than done. Anyone else want to do anything in particular while you're all sitting or doing anything that's beyond the norm besides sitting, enjoying some good beer, wine, or food to talk with the other?
Go ahead, Market.
All right. Russell grew up in a town like this and kind of knows how it goes when visitors come by. He's going to go talk to a cook, somebody, make sure that the whole village is enjoying the food, and that people aren't going hungry tonight to feed us.
Oh no, yeah, you see that the hamlet is established in a good location. It's next to the to the high forest, and so um, food doesn't seem to be a problem. It's the one thing that's not a problem here. Food,
Gotcha.
they seem to have good agriculture system here. It looks like, in fact, the fauna and the ecology of plant life and animal life here is in fact quite plentiful. In fact, absurdly plentiful.
All right.
Does this house have a second story?
It does not. Not there are no second story houses here.
Okay. If I see someone peeking through the window, I'm going to summon my brother directly in front of it.
Yeah, nobody has glass. They only have like the thatchet windows.
Yeah. If I see someone trying to
Look,
call
of
him up
course,
to look through there,
absolutely.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna summon my brother right there to
you
scare
you
him.
frighten some of the kids, right? But some are like fast. Some laugh. Like when you go to a haunted house and you get scared by a ghost. It's scary, but then you're like all laughing. And some aren't frightened by him and almost try to interact with him, like throwing little pebbles at him and try to touch him. And then like he reacts, they freak out and run away, and it turns into this contest of who can get closer and touch the ghost that's on the wall by the window.
Ren would interact with the kids. I'm not controlling him directly, but he would do things with them.
Yeah, and they find it absolutely entertaining and fascinating. Anything's better than going out to, pick strawberries and cotton and they don't want to do any of that. And it's an excuse to get away from that and see something unusual,
Yeah.
fantastic, and imaginary.
I mean, he's a shadowy, tangible suit of armor
Yeah.
with glowing green eyes.
Yeah. I mean, there are some. Don't get me wrong. Not everyone's very delighted to see him, but like the brave kids, the kids that are like who are gonna maybe one day themselves be adventurers are poking and brave, and it literally
he's like
becomes a
playing
contest.
peekaboo with like a 9-year-old.
Yeah.
He's
Yep. I'll let everyone go across. I'm gonna start from left to right as I see on my list here. So, Kara, what do you do?
Mara is just kind of munching on a hunk of bread, and she's actually enjoying the attention from the children and the townsfolk, and kind of interacting with them in a cheerful manner. She would occasionally, after she finished eating, kind of go outside and with some of the townsfolk and children, and she would go ahead and flare up her spectral arms and kind of just as entertainment and like do some cool like punching moves in the air.
Oh wow, okay. So you're like kind of doing like chi energy things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So you do this, and they're like, I mean, even some of the townsfolk and some of the kids try to emulate your maneuvers. You see them kind of trying to do like splits and kicks, and they're falling
Mhm.
over in the mud. I want to stress that the environment here is very um, like it's just pleasant. In fact, it's disgustingly pleasant, right? Everyone seems rather friendly. It's got that small town vibe. Everyone's fascinated. You don't see anyone being mean to you. They seem very grateful that you're here, and it's a nice change, right? You're not dealing with dragons and orcs and nasty people, and these people seem rather happy and fortunate to have such people like you here to help make a difference and keep whatever's happening here from happening, which you don't see anything like that. You don't see any type of threat. Everyone seems to know everyone. It's a small hamlet. You're talking like 80 people are in this
Yeah.
little village, right? And so everyone's like fascinated by you, and the Edler actually sees that you seem to be the like the friendliest, right? Like you're
Mhm.
really kind of like trying to interact, and so he interacts with you. The Edler, Edler Keaton. He says, he goes, "You seem rather, uh, you seem rather pleasant and happy. Have you ever been to a hamlet like this before?"
I've not been to a place like this in quite a while, since I was young. Like these little kids right here. It's brings back some joyful memories of mine.
Goes, wonderful. He goes, "That's it pleases me to hear that." He goes, we've summoned you, we've contracted you all here because there have been looming threats. There have been several rabid attacks um, by the wildlife that's making its presence known even during the day. Wolves attacking. We've had these rumors that there's some type of water creature along the river that's making fishing difficult. We don't understand what's happening. Some of the townsfolk, some of the hamlet folk, think that the that the druids are responsible. Uh, there's a great tree not too far from here, and he just points at it, and you can see just triple vegetation. But even at this distance, you do see that there's like one large, sort of like ancient. You assume it's an ancient tree because it's so big and tall, and it sticks out, and it's a grand sight and quite beautiful, lush and green and birds, and the sun hits it just right, and you're just like, oh fuck, okay. And he says, and we don't know what to do. We discovered this mine, and suddenly we've gotten the attention of the city just that you just arrived from in Yartar, and and this could really make a difference. It could really change the way of life here in this hamlet. Many of us work hard and long hours for quite nothing. I understand money isn't everything, but it really gives opportunities for our children.
Oh, I'm sure. I can definitely assure you that we will do our very best to resolve some of the issues you have here and make your life here a much better place.
I hope so. Please, uh, feel free to walk the grounds. You're quite safe here. Just don't go beyond the borders. As I said, the animal life has been quite aggressive. We're not sure what's happening. If you have any questions or need anything, please don't hesitate to ask. If I have it, it's yours.
Well, thank you.
Okay. Then we'll go. Lorelai, you kind of already did your thing, so I'll come back to you at the end here. Richter, what are you doing?
Richter is interrogating the Adler. Well, he's trying to figure out why people think the druids are behind it. He'll ask Adler Keaton.
So
So,
when,
why
when
exactly do you think that the druids are the ones responsible for the chaos that's ensuing?
he goes, he goes. Quite honestly, I was hoping not to. He has a little bit of like hesitation, and he kind of guides you over to a small chest, and he shows you this. He opens this small chest, and he opens this, and you see this banner. Okay, this banner is green. It has multiple trees with like roots attached to it, and a yellow arc of a sun. I need you to make a history roll. Okay, I'm going to share this only with you, and only you, and you are to roleplay that however you like. You should see it on the right now, under the tab under the Druid's Grotto. Do you see it?
Yes.
Go ahead and click on that, and it'll explain to you. You can read that, and you can roleplay that however you like, and if you wish to share that with the players or anything else you like.
So, this image is what I see.
That's the banner he shows you in the chest, and that's what you know, what you can see underneath it. Which will roll.
Where exactly is this mine?
He goes, "Oh, the
And
the
this was
mines.
left at.
It was
How
left
did
in the
you
center.
acquire this?
It was left in the center of our town. We awoke early in the morning as farmers and our ilk do, and we discovered it there, almost like a warning. What do you know of it? I know it belongs to the Druid's Grotto, but I don't have anyone here who understands that. I sent that off to this. I sent the description to the city, but have not received any word. Do you know what this is?
I know what it is, but almost seems a little bit too obvious. Uh, where's the mine at?
The mine is not too far from here. It's just at the border of our town, just across the river.
Across the river.
Correct.
Let me take a look at the map real quick. Not Alexander, I don't need to see you. So it's not in the woods.
Oh no, the mine is within 20 minutes distant walk from here.
I mean,
30 minutes, 30 minutes, 20 minutes uh, with a light jog. If you casually walk it, perhaps 30.
it's definitely worth going and talking to the druids of the tall trees, but if we're not expanding into their territory, I don't know why they would be so hostile to this action.
Well,
I'll talk to my group about it, and Richter will then inform them.
so when you
So,
say that, he says tall trees. Is that the order they belong to?
maybe I'm really not certain. I'll roll a deception check for that.
Okay.
Maybe.
Hey, look at
Hey,
that, dude. You're
okay,
rolling
yeah,
high.
yeah, man. He's like, oh, I no, I understand. The druid folk can be quite unusual. They do study the old ways.
Yeah, you know me. I don't want to throw anybody on the headsman's axe that doesn't deserve it,
Okay,
but I'm
all right,
not entirely sure that that's them.
okay. And with that, I'll come back to you. So just keep that in mind. Let me just get
Okay.
everyone here. Barson, what do you do?
Yeah, I think I'll just once I determine that we're not, you know, making anyone go hungry, just sit back and enjoy the feast.
Yeah. So again, you seem to be one of the most reasonable ones. You're not, trying to distance yourself from the crowd. And the Edler, you see him talking just a few feet away from you, showing Richter something, and you see the look of concern on his face. You're not sure what's going on. But then he excuses himself as he realizes that Richter just needs like some time to think to himself and go talk to his friends, and he gets the hint. He may be a little slow, but he's not, dumb. And he kind of makes his way up to you and sees you just kind of like being calm and collected. And he comes up to you, the Edler. He goes, it's quite fascinating, the armor and your profession. I've never seen. Um, this, there's a name for you, right?
Aye, artificer.
An artificer, of course. Stupid me, I should have known that. But it's amazing. He goes, I've never seen anything like it. I've never heard stories of golems and statues and animations, but this this is amazing. Uh, would you be able to do others like that?
As of now, no, not really.
No.
It's it's a tricky business. Getting this one suit right took me, a year. Lots of
It's
experimentation.
it's magical, right?
Aye.
He goes, so you're a wizard?
Um, Technically, my boss, the fellow who taught me, preferred the more general term arcanist. Someone who wields magical powers alongside engineering knowledge.
Well, I mean, okay. He goes, as you know, we have a mine, and we're looking to expand our resources, and we lack engineers. If you're interested and your time isn't soaked up, we could use a sharp, talented mind like yourselves,
Oh,
like the one you possess, and we would
I,
pay handsomely for one.
I appreciate the offer, but my rear end belongs to the Knights Remnant for at least the next 12 years. Not allowing time off for good behavior.
he goes, he goes, again, I've heard stories of the Knights Remnant conscripting people, but I heard that was quite rare.
Well, perhaps in the old days, so far as I know, it's become more and more common.
He goes, oh, well, that's quite unfortunate, but I'm sure you'll bring honor and service to the Knights Remnant. If you do well, I'll do what I can to speak. I do belong to an influential house in the city. Perhaps they can help you shave some of the years of service.
Oh, if you could do that, it would be much appreciated, sir, but maybe wait and see if we can save your fine town here first.
Of course, again, I don't know what's going on. As I've told some of your other friends, the animal life, almost as if the plant's life is going against us. Uh, Many people here suspect it has to do with the Druid's Grotto. Your friend over there mentioned something called the tall trees. Do you know what that could be? Make a history roll.
Right? $22.
Ooh, that's a damn good roll.
I have
Okay.
+8 in history. It ought to be.
You now have access to see what it is. It's on the right side.
Okay.
Do you say anything when you hear that?
Druids the tall trees. Okay.
Anything at all?
Real, it would be their modus operandi, but do I know? Sorry, to the DM. Do I know of them operating in this area before?
No, they operate solely in the forest. If you look at the large map, that's actually the forest that's right to the right of the town. So when you say like modus operandi, he doesn't know what that means, right? He looks at you and he goes, modus operandi,
The way they work,
the way they work.
the way they go
Should-
about things.
Should we be worried?
I mean, I'd not make a big fuss of it till I have more information.
Okay, your friend over there didn't seem to think it was worth mentioning. I'm getting the feeling something's not quite right. Are you lying to me?
No, sir. Well, honestly, I don't have enough information yet to lie to you. So
Of
far as we know, we've got maybe this one group of occasionally violent nutjobs who might be in the area, combined with information that someone has been messing with your mine. These two facts are not necessarily related. We will go into the forest and to the mine and see what we can discover, and if this adds up. For all we
course.
know, it could just be some boys from your town out playing pranks.
Oh God, that'd be so relieving. And I'm sorry, I didn't mean to call you a liar. It just tensions are high in the town. We have guests, and I'm sorry. I should never have gone against. And he's almost embarrassed, and he kind of takes away and interacts with the last person he hasn't had a chance to speak to. Good old Kenji. What are you doing, my friend?
I want to ask him about the frequency of these wolf attacks and any information about this water monster at the river.
Okay. So he says, well, I've never seen it, but the children who play along the river swear that there's some sea creature in the river of our hamlet.
A sea creature. What does a sea creature look like?
Well, there's various reports. I can summon some of them who've claimed to have seen it, but from
I can
what
go
I
out and
gather,
ask him later.
okay, from what
But
I've
what
gathered,
have you heard?
it's large, about 20 feet long, green, large claws that can pierce through stone, purple eyes, and it seems to lurk and wait to attack small fishing kayaks.
And it only attacks people on the water? Is that right? Does it come out of the lake? Or out of the
No,
river?
it's only it has not killed anyone. It's only flipped boats over, destroying our kayaks.
Hmm. And what about these wolf attacks?
He goes,
Does that happen often?
He
Are there a
goes,
lot
yes.
of wolves? Do they also often end up not being fatal attacks?
He goes, well, that unfortunately is not the case. One of the mothers in town had just lost her child to a rather large wolf attack. Dare I say it was huge, almost the size of a horse. I saw it with my own eyes. I've never
And where
seen
was this?
such
Was this
things.
just outside of town, or was this?
It was just as the borders, as they were picking apples. We have a small orchard just off in the distance.
Is that in the direction of the mine?
Well, yeah, it comes across the entire valley. I mean, you have to come through the orchard to get to the mine.
Are most of the attacks kind of in that area, in that direction?
I guess I never thought about it. It's definitely to the north. Yeah. Do you think something's going on? Your friends there have me a little concerned. They keep mentioning something called the tall trees, Order of the Tall Trees.
The what?
Make a history roll.
Oh, wow.
Let's see how many people know about this.
Well, I have 3 levels, so depending how well you roll, you find out more information than the other characters.
I probably don't know hardly
You
anything.
know nothing.
How's it feel to look stupid?
Joke's on you, I always look stupid.
So what do you
So
do?
do I.
So what do you say?
Well, thank you for the information. I'm not really sure what this means. I'm going to talk it over with my colleagues.
Please do. In case you're wondering, the time of the day right now is like late in the afternoon. He says, okay, well, again, please enjoy what you need. No one's to be coming in here. This is your area. Do what you will with it. We have tables, food. If you need anything, don't hesitate to ask. I've left some of the most loyal members that work for me here to assist you. Consider my henchmen your henchmen.
I don't like how he called them henchmen.
Okay, and we'll come back to Lorelai, and then we'll go back to Richter here. So Lorelai, anything else you're doing other than just kind of being like grumpy and wanting to be in solitude and finding it very difficult to do that because you're like beautiful, fascinating, and like having to deal with like people. Like the more you try to get alone, the more it's like almost a game to the kids and the teenagers.
I was less grumpy and more just like mildly irritated by the apparent class disparity there is within the village, where there's a whole lot of workers and she's only seen one person who is particularly well fed.
Okay. You notice, even in your paranoia and wanting to be solitude, you feel someone tugging at your clothing, and it's a little girl, about 4 years old, about 8 years old. I'm sorry. She's got a little bit of dirt in her face. She's kind of looking up to you. She's a little petite and small, and
Oh,
you see she has a small parchment, and she's doing the best to draw you. She goes, I hope I'm as beautiful as you are someday.
don't be.
I draw only the most beautiful things. And you're beautiful.
That's adorable.
Crush this kid's dreams.
No,
Very
She
good.
goes,
Lorelai's
"What-
mean,
what do you-
but
what do
she's
you-
not
what
that
do you-
mean.
Do you like it? And you realize that it's just not very good.
It's just a stick figure.
I think you should crush her soul, Lorelai. No.
Don't you dare.
So what do
Don't you dare.
I'm like,
You're
it's
the
just a
nice
dream.
guy in the main
Okay.
campaign.
So what do you do?
Lorelai takes one look at it. She looks at the girl wide-eyed and she's like, "It's not very good, but
Uh,
you can improve over time, and perhaps
uh,
if you do, I can come back and you can draw me again."
you don't, you don't, you don't like. You don't like it?
Say something nice, damn it.
Get a tattoo of it.
and she like just starts crying, turns around and runs off crying.
I tried to be nice.
You made a child cry.
I offered to come back when she's improved.
Would Kara have seen the kid run off crying?
Yes, you're like you just as you're kind of turning the building, right? Because imagine like Lorelai being the type, when someone wants to go smoke by themselves, how they go to on the corner of the building.
Yeah.
So just as you're clearing, you see Lorelai's trying, like you don't hear what she said, but then this little girl, you saw her.
Sobbing
She's holding
girl
this
that comes
parchment,
running by.
and she runs by you. If you want to say something to the girl or do something, you're more than welcome to.
Kara kind of reaches out and then just she's already gone. So Kara goes and tries to go and find the source of said.
You see Lorelai holding this parchment, and you can tell there's like this really rough drawing. She didn't have any color. She was using like plant dyes to try to color something on a piece of parchment, like a sack, like a barlap, like parchment.
Mm-hmm. Did you make her cry? What did she? She make something for you? What is that?
She said that she was drawing me.
What you could have. Okay, just because a kid isn't good at something doesn't mean you crush their dreams. You can just give them nice, reinforcing behavior.
I did. I told her that she could improve, and that if she does, then I could come back and she would try again.
Is that all you said?
She asked me if it was good. Now, does she want me to lie to her, or does she want...
It's a kid! They don't... What? She's not gonna want negative reinforcement. She wants to be told, oh, that's cute. I'm sure you can do... that's really cute. I'm sure you can make something even better someday, too.
Condescending.
They're children. They don't know the difference. It's... Regardless, well...
I knew the difference.
I'm sure you do. and Kara's gonna kind of like... can she grab the parchment and try and and look at it?
Yes, she certainly
Lorelai's not gonna let her take it.
Okay. Oh, so you see, when you try to reach for it, Lorelai like, what are you doing? Right?
It's like, okay.
It's evident. It's evident.
Yeah, and Kara just shrugs and is like, okay, well, try not to make any more kids cry, will you? And she's gonna walk back over and go back into the house.
On the way back, you see my brother trying his best to comfort this girl from about 3 feet away, but he can't speak, so just like...
Just as you start to do that, all of you, suddenly, a large banging sound is heard off in the distance to the north. Panic grips the citizens of Thornbush. People are hurrying about, screaming about, getting equipment, yelling about something that's just happened in the mine. There's talk of a possible collapse. You notice that the mining site off in the distance, nothing but smoke gathers off. You see several people running back, exhausted. Miners, the dwarves, they're trapped. Something, it's made of rock. It's terrible. The horror.
Slow down. How far across is the river? Richter slams his beer and then throws it on the ground and gets up to go outside.
How far across
I'll give everyone a reaction. Lorelai, what are you doing?
How far across is the river?
From where you're at, so think of, I do have a map and I don't want to show it yet. So basically, just think of like a small hamlet and you're about maybe 100 feet from the river. And the river is not very deep. You could actually...
I'm on the bank of the river.
She said she was on the bank of the river.
Oh yeah, you are on the bank of the river. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, so crossing, you mean crossing the river? You could cross it. If you got on it, it is only about waist deep.
I'm not talking about going through. I mean like going... Like, how wide is the river?
How wide it is? Oh, it's only about 20 feet.
Oh, cool. I straight up fly across.
Right? Like it freaks people out because these demonic wings come out of you, right? So like for a second, you just out of instinct, right? You kind of like step into it, and then you just see like she kind of tilts forward, these large demonic wings, which are not even fully formed yet. And it allows her to glide over, and people are like freaked out by it. And some of the people start running away from you as it catches a lot of their attention. But some are fascinated by it and can't help. And you land on the other side, and you can just see several people and some of the dwarves. Apparently, it's dwarves that are kind of controlling the mine, making their way back, covered in soot and dust, and you could tell easily some sort of cave-in has happened. I'll let you have the first reaction with the first miner, Lorelei. What do you do? A dwarven miner comes up to you, and you know he's like in distress.
Useless. She runs forward.
Okay.
She doesn't wait. It's an emergency.
Okay. The next closest was Kara. Kara. You see Lorelei just kind of these wings come out of her. You're like, what the fuck? And she just flies over.
Lorelei would have like done the wing thing as quickly as possible, so as not to drag too much attention.
Yeah, I get it, but I mean, she was there. Right? She was talking to you.
I was just starting to walk away, so I probably would have caught a glimpse of you.
Yeah, you kind of like your hair wisp, and then you just see her probably like land, and you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, exactly. I didn't exactly see her fly, but I saw her basically get across the river in very fast motion. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to.
There is a bridge, by the way.
I'm
bridge,
exactly.
But you'd have to kind of go a long way.
That's what I was gonna. I was just gonna. Well, you said it was only waist deep, right?
Yes, correct.
Okay,
but
so
you did hear rumors that there's a sea creature in there, just so you know.
No, Kara is just going submerging and trying to get it straight across the river.
Yeah, so you like the water's cold. The stream is not too strong, so you can manage it walking across. Yeah. It just takes you a few minutes. But yeah, I mean, it's only 20 feet, right? Mm-hmm. It takes you about 5 minutes. You're all wet, and Lorelei she doesn't even wait for you, right? Mm-hmm. Really, what? You'd think she'd wait for you, but she takes off. She completely ignores this dwarf, right? That's like coughing. Just as you get to the other side, he's still coughing.
Hey, are you okay? What happened?
And do you speak Dwarven?
No.
All you hear sounds like Klingon, right?
Basically.
Right? He's like Krunkenka, Tandunsanda.
Jeez. I was like, well, and I kind of try and usher him towards the one of the buildings so people can help him.
Yeah.
And then just keep on going towards the mine.
Okay, and you kind of run off over there. The next one would probably be, I'll just say the three of you. So go ahead. You guys see this collapse. People come in. The Edler is like in a panic. He goes, oh, there's been some type of collapse. Please help us. We don't know what's going. We'll pay for the service. Again, we've contracted you. Please.
All right, gents. I think they're playing our song. Let's get over there.
Let's move.
Yep. As you move
now
out.
Let's gracefully wade through the river.
You can cross. There is a bridge, like I said, if you don't want to deal with the river. It's up to you. It just takes you a good 50 feet out of the way, right?
No.
You hear yells and crashing sounds coming from the mine. All of you begin to sort of get there around the same time. Lorelei probably gets there a little sooner. So, with that being said, Lorelei, as you near the entrance of the mine, yeah, after you reach the entrance of the... close that. As you reach the nearby entrance of the mine, you notice that the grooves are worn by the wheels of mine carts. The grooves worn by the wheels of the mine carts disappear into the darkness of the tunnel, carved long ago by miners hoping to unearth glimmering veins of silver and gold. You notice massive timbers, the width and length of a giant's leg, hold the tunnel ceiling aloft. Oil lamps, greasy with smoke, hang unlit in every few timbers. A strange sound seems to emanate from deep within the mine. You're not sure quite what it is. Perhaps miners? Or is it something else?
Dun dun dun. Sorry.
Right? And this is kind of the inspiration for it all. Right? So, yep. What do you do? Lorelei, I'll let you go first.
we can get to what may or may not have caused the emergency, I'm going to focus on the mine collapse. What am I witnessing? What's in front of me?
Like I said, there's still a little bit of dust and stuff flying out of it. You could tell there was a collapse somewhere deep, probably within the mine and the edges. It's dark. You do have night vision, and you do notice there is a light source coming from within and some noises. You're not sure what it is. It's basically sounds a lot like what you're hearing now.
Lorelai is going to pull her scarf over her nose so she can protect her airway. She's going to squint her eyes, and her long, luscious lashes are going to assist her like that of a camel's. What? I'm using logic. It's a weird comparison, but it makes sense. I'm not wrong.
Yo, my eyelashes are
Hey, I know
so
what you meant.
sexy. They look like a camel's.
Camels have very luxurious lashes.
They do, though. They really do.
They have triple layered lashes, actually.
Yeah.
Okay. So
but
you kind of
she's
start
gonna
making.
go in.
Yeah, you start making you're like, okay, holy crap, I don't know what's going on. You kind of start moving forward. That's how brave you are, right? You're going in there by yourself. At this point, that just as you disappear into the darkness of the mine, Kara, you see again, she doesn't wait for you. Just as you're like gonna catch up to her, you see her. She's already got like her thing prepped, covering her mask because there's a lot of dust and soot and stuff. And you see her just disappear into the darkness. And you don't have night vision.
Nope. I would take a torch off my my bag and light that.
Okay. So you spend a few seconds.
Yep. Light that up and then kind of just venture off in where I saw Lorelai go to.
Okay. And again, you push forward. The three of you off in the distance, running probably a little faster than the others, right? Kind of moving up, get up to the mine. When you get up there, you already see yet the second female rushing into the heart of battle, right? Not waiting because they're awesome. And
Exactly.
what do the three of you do? So you three are kind of together.
Follow.
All right, here we go. We go to our first map, folks.
The real girl
Richter's
power
gonna pause for a second
Girl power,
and
let's
wonder
go.
what,
Hell yeah.
like, briefly wonder what could be causing this.
We could.
We're gonna find out soon enough. You go first.
People are apparently in danger right now.
I'm gonna think for a minute. Can I roll something?
Oh no.
Well, we just know it's a
Richter
mine
thinking.
collapse.
Okay.
All right,
You
then,
should-
I
Thinking
go
you
with
guys,
that's-
you guys should all be
scary.
seeing a black screen, yes?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, awesome. Give me 1 second.
Bring
Okay.
on the lighting.
I'm gonna put in
Yes, I
Lorelai
will go
first.
first. I will not. let
Lorelai
Ken
goes
go
first because she's there. Hold on. So this is actually set up to your night vision, folks. And then let me put Kara in there. Now Kara does not have night vision, but she has a torch. So let me give her the torch setting. I've got a little macro for that. Boom. Keep stuff light. Yep. Boom. Okay, let's make sure it's correct so I can see what you can see. Yep. And Kara. So Kara, your token is emitting light. So any player who doesn't have a torch.
Got it.
So I'm gonna give you guys 2 turns before the rest of the party joins. So you make your way in, and as you make your way into the mine, right from there, because I can see what you can see, right?
Yeah.
So I can see. I'm about to explain what you're seeing and what you see right now in the token. So here's what you see. The mine shaft leads down to a dirty tent where the air shimmers with heat from the forge, surrounded by 2 injured dwarven miners and a small campfire. Hammers, tongs, and chisels adorn the wall beside with blades, axes, and spears, and the more mundane metal of farming implements align the wall. You hear the steady rumble of rocks tumbling out down the distance to the south of you. And you notice makeshift miners' camp of some sort off ahead of you. Clearly, what's going on does not yet make sense to you. When they see you, They lock hands together, looking into the ground, and you only hear this as you approach the miners, which is where your tokens are now.
Lu acreditu, mafarrak de afruk, kuzd bekul mamarda, orplag umral, moka mahal uden, zura san zigil umkazo.
What do you all do? As none of you speak Dwarven.
So they are locked hands together and they are staring at the ground currently.
Correct. Now, there is a small light source coming from the candle, which is already there. That's why you can see a lot more than usual. And you notice a little bit from the campfire. And here's the very scene that I explained. Everything you see here is real in existence. And here's like what seems to be some sort of cave-in, as well as off in this distance here. Please move your tokens anywhere you want within your base movement.
Okay, cool.
Somebody who is vaguely familiar with basic religious stuff, would I be able to recognize this as some kind of prayer?
Go ahead and make a religion roll. It is a religious dwarves who worship Morannon do something called Morannon's mourning. You're not to make eye contact while they are in mourning.
Okay.
It's considered rude and disrespectful to the recent dead.
Okay. Lorelai is gonna start heading southward, and she's gonna call out to Kara.
Okay.
Don't look them in the eyes. It's a really shitty thing to do. Make sure that they're not injured or breathing in any of the dust.
Lorelai, as you push. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Kara, if you want to say something.
Kara was just gonna call back and just an affirmation, and then ask, would I be able to see from this distance whether or not they're like seriously hurt or anything like that?
They are injured.
Okay.
Are their tokens not? Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't activate their tokens. Hold on.
I mean, I do see the 2 tokens there. They have like little
No. Oh no, hold on. 1, 2, 4. Okay, see how it's yellow? That means they're injured. Again, green means that they have 75% of their hit points. Yellow, they have 50% of their hit points. Red, 25% less of their hit points.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Okay.
So Kara would just, hearing what Lorelai said, just avoid eye contact, but try and assess the state of them and see how wounded they are.
Okay, so they see you. They don't see you. They're looking at your feet, and they seem to be holding hands. And again, that prayer just repeats out of them. They do have bruises. It looks like they managed to got caught in some type of collapsing or avalanche thing, right?
So some scrapes, some bruises.
Yeah, and they have basically, but they are injured. They're not seriously injured, but they're injured, right?
Nothing grievous though, right? They're not going to bleed out if I leave them.
Exactly. Okay. But they seem concerned, and even from there, and I just looked at your passive perception, which I did not roll higher than. You distinctively smell something burning, and unfortunately, it's the unmistakable smell of burning flesh coming from the north.
From the north? Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, to Lorelai. Lorelai, as you move forward, you notice a rubble lies in heaps. Dust is heavy in the air. Bits of wood, fragments of cloth, and the remains of what would have been a structure protrudes from a towering pile of debris. Unfortunately, sundered beneath the weight of the cave's collapse is the ceiling. The path ahead lies blocked between rock and several dwarven dead miners.
Are there any like very, very small spaces that could possibly squeeze through?
You realize that it would be quite dangerous to do so. I mean, you can try. I'm not going to keep you from doing it, but it doesn't look very stable, right? Because the timbers are cracked, they're broken. You can still see a little bit of rubble. You kind of, it sounds like you're curious enough to grab a rock. You move a rock, and another one falls in its place, and you're like, whoa.
Okay. So recognizing that she can't do very much for the south side of the situation, Lorelai's gonna run back up.
Go ahead and move your token. Another base movement, wherever you like.
And she'll start heading north, all the while calling out to Kara again. When the others arrive, send them to the south to start moving the stones. It's too heavy for me. I'm gonna go check up north, make sure everything's all right.
I'll be right behind you, but I'll relay that to them.
Okay.
Good.
All right. Lorelai, even where you're at, you more than Kara because she was off in the distance, but her keen observation detected the smell of burning flesh. You, unfortunately, are very familiar with it. In fact, whatever it was even perhaps infernal in nature.
Knowing this, I'm gonna double in speed.
Okay. At this point, I'm going to push the other tokens now. I'm putting Kenji on the floor, who also has a torch, so bear with me, Kenji. I got to give you your torchlight in a second here. Here comes Richter.
A very large Richter. There you go.
And Russell.
Richter's a big man.
Big man. I didn't know he was size large.
Okay, hold on. Kenji, you said a torch, right?
Yep.
Boom.
And Russell would use one of his infusions to make his shield boss light up, so it'll give off a 10-foot light.
Okay, you're about to get light as well. You said 10, right?
Yep. It's not as good as a torch, but it's free, so.
Boom. Okay, everyone's lighting and thing is now correct. I've already described the scene. If you need me to describe it again, I'll be more than happy to do so. But it hasn't changed just in the last minute or so. So you come in, it's dusty, it's murky. Kara kind of comes up. Kara, if you want to interact, I mean,
Yeah,
they just walk in.
Seeing them enter, she's gonna explain. Lorelai's already gone up to the north path. The eastern and the southern are blocked by rubble. She said to start trying to clear a path to the south. There might be some survivors under there. I'm gonna go follow her and make sure she's okay.
All right. So Lorelai, I'm gonna just move you back here because I'm gonna describe a scene to you. So I'm gonna put you there for now. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Kara, I know what you did. Russell, Richter, Kenchi, go ahead and position yourself anywhere between double your movement. Anywhere you want, double your movement from where your token is originated at now.
I'm gonna look at everybody and say, she wants us to try to dig out a cave-in with our bare hands. Let's go and follow
I mean,
her.
I never said it was a good idea. Just said that's what she said.
I'm gonna come here first and see what's going on here. I'm gonna clock the spears and the axes, and I'm gonna see if they've been used recently.
Good. Okay, so okay, hold on. Let's let Russell. Russell, where do you want to move? And just give me an idea of what you're doing roughly.
Right. Move up to the dwarves and ask, either of you lads speak common?
Okay. All right. So I'm going to start with Russell because he's the one who did the directly confrontational with them. So you basically start talking to them, and they just kind of like ignore you, and they loudly start wailing almost, and you hear. Does anyone speak Dwarven? That's what I thought. And they're both doing it in unison. And you're like, what? And they're like staring at their feet. And when you approach them to talk to them, they get even louder, almost blocking your conversation, and you don't know what the hell is going on.
Lorelai can hear this echo from where she is right now, right?
Yeah.
She shouts back at her, "Don't fucking interrupt them!"
That echoes throughout the entire cavern, and you hear several rocks fall off in the distance. Russell, what do you continue to do?
You're not being very bloody helpful, lads. And then I'd go see if I could help somewhere else.
Okay. All right. Richter, so you kind of make your way to the boxes and the supplies, and you notice that some spears and I'm sorry, some of the great axes, because you can see the silhouette
Oh,
of the
they're
great
great
axes.
axes.
Yes.
So they're not axes meant for like chopping wood. They're axes meant for
They're
cleaving
weaponry.
through things.
Yeah,
Okay.
you notice there's two of them. There's two great axes that are forged quite well from the looks of. There's several axes, but two of them, because the dirt and then so the cave-in happened, and then when someone picks up a weapon, you can see the outline of the weapon. Two great axes, two picks, and two hammers are removed from that wall. Um, Other than that, there's the basic supplies here: boxes with standard supplies like pegs, things like that you would find in a mine, a small tent, and you're just not sure why these miners are like holding hands, praying in obviously dwarven. Um, Again, these miners, just so you know, should have done this actually, I forgot. The miners are. Give me 1 second. The miners are all dressed in heavy boots with well-worn trousers and a leather smock. They have the clearly dwarven miners that sniff the underground air as if it were a fresh breeze. They all eyeball you if they weren't staring at the ground. Almost all of them have a heavy pick, and they seem very proud, as their father did before their father, and their father did before them. They seem to be ready to defend any precious metals in this community, and this is what the dwarves all look like.
So are they wearing mail underneath their smock?
Correct.
I know that?
Think of more like a chain shirt.
Okay. Regardless, do I know that that's like a normal thing for miners to be wearing? This is a fantasy world.
It is not.
Okay. All right. Richter's gonna move the rest of double his movement. I use 25 to get there, so I'll move 30 to get.
It's just a gauge. It's
here.
fine. It's just a gauge so we can gauge so people don't move everywhere, right?
And I will
so we can keep some sanity here in the turns. Go ahead.
And I will say to the others as I walk past loudly, the dwarves are dressed for battle. There's missing weapons on the walls. Something ain't right here.
Okay.
Is everyone else ignoring the cave-in? Or the fact that there might be people suffocating on the other side?
You want to try and dig it out?
That's why I asked the people who can.
Do I look like I'm equipped
can
to
dig it
out
out.
a cave-in with my bare hands?
There's mining equipment, Ken, but the fact of the matter is, we're three people maybe who can do it, and it ain't gonna happen quick. Whatever's going on is going on now.
Aye, plus, this lot were likely to bring it back down on our heads. I mean, I've read a lot of books, lads, but mining wasn't included in the study materials. Either you know anything about it?
I'm gonna be completely honest with you and say I don't know anything about a stone other than it's better than your fist if you're hitting somebody with it.
I mean, I know they usually fall downward.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is not something we ought to be messing with.
The scene I'm about to describe applies for Lorelei, Richter, and Kenji. Okay?
Actually, we're at the 2-hour mark. Can we break now?
We should break right before we do anything.
Yeah, let's do that. That's a good idea. Or is Milkman up?
Hi, I'm Lombot Goldstein, but you can call me Lombot. Well, I'm not having a panic attack about the ever-increasing stack of unfiled paperwork waiting in my office during my adventure. I'm dreaming of better days, spent in the Dungeon Divers Discord server. There, I could find fantastic stories, meet new people, make new friends, and share new and wonderful experiences, completely distracting me from my real-world duties and obligations. It's ruining my life. Anyways, they're running multiple games a week, every week, with experienced DMs and an active moderation team, so make sure you come by and check things out. Also, make sure you're subscribed. It's free with Prime, and you'll no longer have to watch ads. It's a wonderful thing. Anyways, I've finished dissociating enough to do this advertisement, so I'm going to go finish some paperwork. Bye-bye!
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back. We just had a nice little break and we're just in the heat of things. If you just joined us, they just entered the mine due to some collapse in the little town or hamlet of Thornbush. And our brave heroes of the Knights Remnant have decided to take action. So let's get to it. So as I said before, the three characters that have pushed up to the front, I'm about to read to you. As you step forward, you can smell burning flesh. Moving forward is a large light that can clearly be seen to your left as you're crossing to the open passageway, resembling a portal to hell itself. The fiery crater looks as though it's been burning endlessly for years. The constant flame is fed by gases released from deep within the land's surface. It shows no sign of shrinking or abating, and it's entirely possible that it will keep burning throughout the rest of your lives and probably the lives of your children. This is what it looks like. That's immediately there. So there's like light. That's why if you notice your token see light, there's this hole. It's about a 5-foot hole, and that's what it looks like. And you can see magma way deep down at the bottom over there. And you notice these tools and things around that same area. This small area bristles with various implements and tools: hammers, rakes, axes, adzes, hoes, ropes, twine, candlesticks, buckets, baskets, and more stand in the racks, hanging from the ceiling, heap in barrels, and others lie tumbled piles on shelves. Similar tools like these. So this is Lorelei, Richter, and Kenji. I'll let you guys all. So just to keep organization, I'm going to go from the closest, but all actions are happening simultaneously. Okay. So keep that in mind. I will allow everyone a half movement of their movement anywhere they want from where their token is established when I call upon your name, and then a basic action of what you're doing. Remember that your passive perception is automatic. And if you're saying, I want to make a perception check, that is your action. You're stopping and looking around as per the rules, okay? So Lorelei, up ahead from where you at, because I can again see what you can see, what your token sees. You notice that burned flesh, no doubt coming from something stained in black ash, a burned corpse up ahead about 20 to 30 feet from you. And what I've just described to your immediate left. Oh, I'm sorry, I should be putting these out. That's why you guys aren't. Okay, hold on. So just so you know where everything is, hold on. Boom. Right. Hence why the things are numbered. Boom. 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 Okay. So Lorelei, you go first since you're the closest to whatever's going on. What do you do?
Where
Again, you're all acting simultaneously. Go ahead.
From which direction can I detect the infernal smell?
You're assuming it's the pit. It's the magma, the sulfur that was coming from it. That is what you were smelling. It reminds you of home.
Oh, gross. All right. Ew, melancholy. Okay, well that's fairly uninteresting. It's just a sulfur deposit. In that case, I'm gonna go investigate the burnt corpse that's just sitting in the middle of these tracks.
Okay. All right, and I'll get back to description on that. I just want to let everyone take kind of a reaction turn, then I'll come back to you. So now we go to Richter.
Richter's gonna step over here to the tools.
Okay.
I want to know if there's a block and tackle.
There is.
Okay, I'm gonna collect some pittons, a hammer, and the block and tackle.
Like a climbing kit. Got it. Like a pulley system. Got it.
All right.
Very smart, by the way.
Up here.
Okay. All right. Kenshi?
I'm going to move forward, and then I'm going to look down the passageways and see if I can see or hear anything moving or
Make
see
a perception
any, like...
roll.
Yeah.
Okay. So you take a look around, and you notice that there, even with that horrible roll, you can clearly hear the sound of water. like rushing water, which isn't good when you're in a mine.
Which direction?
From the north northwest. It echoes throughout the chamber.
Okay.
Now you make it out, so like you physically stopped and you're like kind of doing this, and you're like, man, I think I'm, you're pretty sure that's what you're hearing. What do you? Okay, all right. Now we go to the next person, Kara.
Kara is going to move up with the rest of the group
Okay.
and continue moving and just kind of ask what everyone's seen so far and kind of just observe for herself the fiery pits.
Make a perception check. Boom. Okay, so Kara, you notice that something is quite unusual about the pit. It's not a natural occurrence. It looks as if something perhaps burrowed its way out of the ground.
And which way is that? Is that here or is that here?
That's the pit, the burning pit.
That's the burning pit. That's just 3, or is that 1 or 2?
That's
Two.
two. Correct.
Got it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna step off that just because
Yeah.
we can functionally say I'm still on 2, but
Yeah, I hear you. Anything you want to do with that?
I'm gonna walk up to the pit and just try and peer down into it.
Okay. Again, you look into it. You can tell that there's obviously magma. There's a distinct amount of heat coming from there. You get a little nauseous because of the sulfur, right? It doesn't smell good. It's brimstone. You're like, But other than that, it's just no one else really noticed it. Everyone thought it was just kind of a natural thing. It looks like maybe something burrowed, not with claws, but think of more like perhaps a serpent or a snake
or a worm or something
or
like
a
that.
worm. Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna say to the party, guys, this doesn't look natural. There might be something else down here with us.
I mean, we're like 20 feet below the surface. There shouldn't be magma here, right?
Correct. The hole goes down hundreds of feet.
Okay, so how deep are we?
Right now, right, you're in the base level of the mine, slightly sloped down. So if you were talking,
Okay.
you're probably maybe 10, 20 feet beneath the ground level.
Okay.
Which means that the cave-in is not that bad.
Okay.
I
All
beg
right.
to differ. There's rushing water to the north of us.
Okay, Russell.
I'm basically gonna do what Kara did, just move up and catch with everyone else.
Okay. Go ahead. You can push them all the way up. That's fine. I get what you're doing. Just want to make sure. Is there anything else that you wanted to do with the dwarves or anything along that side, or are you just going to get up there and just kind of observe?
Nope. I'm tired of talking to a brick wall that is the dwarves.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a perception check.
Alrighty.
Ooh. Okay. So you, mainly due to the fact that you're an artificer and engineer, you notice that these tools that are here are maintained quite well and used for deep digging. This is quite unusual as the mine is supposedly recently discovered. It was just discovered recently. These are tools used for deep mining and going deeper into tunnels, multiple layers of a mine.
Interesting. I'll make mention of that to everyone else.
Okay. All right. Now we go back to Lorelei, and we'll start right from the top. So Lorelei, you approach the burnt remains of something, no doubt a dwarf, and it assaults your senses, striking the back of your throat like something sharp and making your eyes water. You taste it in the air, even as you try not to breathe it. It is a bitter and burning flavor of burned skin, and this is what it looks like.
Oh, fuck. I wasn't expecting an actual... Alright.
Oh, okay. I was enjoying the idea that Lorelei was okay with this, and now suddenly I am not.
I don't know if we want to show that on stream.
Yeah, probably not.
Oh, sorry. I'll close it.
That is quite literally a burned corpse.
What do you do?
Okay.
I can't look away.
Let's just assume that was a rotisserie chicken.
Yeah.
That was a
What was
rotisserie
that?
chicken, everybody.
That was a
Most
rotisserie
overcooked
chicken
rotisserie
Not
chicken that I've
expecting
ever seen.
for
Also,
that was
hand
not
cooked.
rotisserie. That was just
for
fried.
Twitch
we'll use-
purposes.
we'll
That
use-
was a rotisserie
fuck.
chicken.
We'll use
Oh, fuck.
we'll use this. Here, we'll use the little token that I have. How about that?
Okay, yeah, thank you.
That-
Yep, that's
Happy-
That's much better.
Okay.
that's an
Okay.
improvement.
Okay.
Yeah, I can tell that that's not someone with a name.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. So what do you do, Lorelai?
Cool. Can I identify what could have caused these burns based off of the visual effect, or was this just like somebody was set on fire?
Are you for you to do that? You would have to get a little closer. You're about almost 10 feet away from it.
Yeah.
Okay, so you kind of walk up to it, and
I'm
you
right on
realize,
top.
yeah, you kind of approach it, and you realize that it's a dwarf, and it's been completely scorched in place by something that burned it, and you can kind of see that there's burn marks spread out among its thing. Whatever it was, just emblazoned it on fire. It was intense heat. I mean, you could name a dozen fiendish, demonic creatures that could do something like this.
So it was less a matter of
this isn't oil. This is like something like magic, like produce flame or burning hands or something like that, or
This is
dragon
less a
breath.
matter of a prolonged combustion, and it was more just instant inferno.
Yeah. What is it? Immolation, I think is what it's called. Yeah. Do you
Oh,
want to? I mean, again, if you want to gather more information, you're gonna have to make a medicine check or something like that for your turn and study the body.
Well, based off of smells, is there any like particular kind of fiendish smells I can infer?
Unfortunately, you do not.
Damn.
It's permeating throughout the entire chamber because of the pit nearby.
That sucks.
Although now that you've gotten a little closer, you can tell that there is the rushing. You can hear the rushing sound of water that what Kenji had noticed before.
Okay. Well, I can't gather too much information from this, so I guess I'm gonna head north.
Okay. All right. Let's go ahead. You're good there, Kenji.
I'm gonna have a look down off to the right and see if I can see anything.
All right. Go ahead and make your perception roll. God damn you. Okay. So as you're there, you think you see something. And this is the description I have for it. A grinning, mischievous, pudgy little person with cracked black skin like a child burned in a fire is seen at a moment's glance. But this impish being seems to burn from within. As you watch, it laughs hideously, and fire flares up all over its body like a candle flame being blown out, but in reverse, as it laughs quite loudly and echoes throughout the chambers. Not one, not two, but three maniacal sounds just like this.
Mortukas Gerajanos, Morsicatos Harlo.
Who speaks Infernal?
I do.
You recognize it echoes throughout the chamber, and then these things just flare on. You see they were suppressing their flames. And this is what you see. Ooh, wrong layer. Hold on. Ooh. Where is
Hey
it?
there, bud.
This is what you see. And what you understand in the infernal language is they seem rather hungry, and want to spread their flame upon the living. At this moment, everyone please click on your token and roll initiative.
Ugly little bastards. Ouch.
Dang, I cannot roll high to save my life tonight.
This is very on brand for us, actually.
I mean, we've been rolling really high for a while. It's about time that the random.
Yeah, we've been rolling high all
low.
night.
Yeah.
Except for you, Barkid. But you got a 22 on perception.
Once.
That's true.
And that's been my one high roll.
Save the high rolls for the door,
You had a
okay?
history check too.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah,
Save the high rolls for the door repair.
The door was the
repair,
important thing,
dude.
Barkid.
My poor door.
There we go. Jesus, I don't know what just happened. That was so weird that happened. I don't know what
Much like our boss, it got replaced many times.
Okay, there we go. Okay, all right. Let me. Why? So we did that before. Okay, here we go. Descending. Here we go. All right. So initiative has started. So basically, the initiative goes into effect because Lorelai and Kenji noticed something. So you guys are not surprised. These magman creatures flare up. They have like an orange tint of magma and flame. Hence why you're all now being able to see everywhere in the chamber. And they were hiding. One of them was hiding behind the stalagmite. The other one was hiding around the corner, and one right by Lorelai by these crates and boxes that she now notices that were hidden from the darkness. And these things flare up and then they just start charging forward. But Lorelai, with a 13 initiative, you go first. What do you do?
Right off the bat, trying to find this. Give me a moment. Okay. I'm going to promptly attack it with my psychic blades.
Oh, okay. So you're gonna approach it and attack it. Go ahead and move your token and attack.
Well, it's a ranged attack.
Oh, what's the? Oh, that's right. Yeah, you can throw those things, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead.
All right.
That's right. Okay, so you kind of swing one of your psychic blades at it, and it kind of shifts past it. And these creatures are quite agile. It kind of like darts out, almost like a goblin. It just kind of shifts. Your psychic blade hits the wood, the paneling, and the some of the stone and rubble falls, but it just whiffs right past magma number 4. Anything else?
Let me check the conditions for an additional thing.
You still have a move and a bonus. Keep that in mind.
I do. I can make another attack with another psychic blade.
Okay.
It would be.
And that one misses as well. You
Jesus
shoot another.
Christ.
You shoot another blade at it, and again, it's just kind of it's like hitting a rabbit, right? It's just darting everywhere. Your psychic blades hitting barrels, and when it hits the barrels, some of them crack open, and you just see salt and like iron rations that are used for long-term storing. So like grain, rice, that's what's kind of in them, flour, that kind of thing, right? And just kind of misses. You still have a move and a bonus.
I that was my bonus action.
Oh, okay. Well, you can still move.
Yeah. So I'm gonna move into the room. To try and circle around it.
Okay.
And as I do so, I kind of hiss out in Infernal. State your purpose. Why are you here?
As you push forward deeper into the cavern, the reverberation quickly decays. If only your pounding heart could be so easily settled. The mind's passage leads you into a vast cavern. You hear the drops of water. Plink, 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 and look up to see glistening stalactites hanging overhead with much moisture. The subterranean walls are scored by veins of milky quartz and other minerals. Deep depressions in the rock evidence the effort miners have gone through to extract these ores. As you push further into the chamber, you notice that shattered wood lies scattered across this room, along with contents of the various crates and barrels that were once stowed securely. Grain and other foodstuff spills across the floor, particularly after the damage you've done, already attracting several pests as a pair of rats flee at your approach. Most of the ruined vessels show signs of force. A hatchet or a pry bar perhaps was used. Clay pots of various liquids lie shattered throughout this chamber as well, their contents pooling and now are puddles of water throughout this room. That's when you see, Lorelei, a swarm of rats heading your way.
Oh my god.
Running away from the rushing water. They will not roll initiative till next turn as you see them all kind of coming at you out of the... So they're coming out of the water because, that's what rats do. They leave a sinking ship. Okay. The Magmen go next. Okay. Magmen 1 kind of sees Kenji there, and it kind of like lights up and gets all bright. This orange hue light comes around, and it just kind of sees food, and it just kind of like darts around this thing and pushes there and attacks. Here it goes. 20. I'm assuming that hits.
Not if I cast shield as a reaction.
Are you going to?
You bet.
You suck. This Magman comes at you, right? It's coming with its flames. You can feel its flame. It's about to burn your chest. And of course, I'll let you describe how you defend yourself with your shield.
I just kind of tilt the staff of defense toward it, and it just kind of blocks it effortlessly.
Yeah, it's like, and it's like, it seems infuriated. It had like this great evil smirk, and now it's just even more upset that you prevented it from burning human flesh. Magman 2 just sees that you're distracted, and now it can come and end you once and for all. And attacks there. Here it goes. 20.
Another
20.
It doesn't matter. He gets the same armor class, I believe, the entire turn, correct?
Yes.
Yep.
Until the end of the
Yep.
end of the
So again, how do you defend? Same thing. The force field comes up.
Yeah, same thing.
Yeah, you're like, you see both of these. It looks badass, right? Because Kenji's like with the staff, and it's like this repelling force of red versus blue, right? And the thing bounces back to no avail. Magman 4 sees Lorelei all by itself, isolated. That's when Lorelei, in the right side of her vision, notices she's caught the attention of another Magman in the distance.
Christ.
Oh dear.
That one sees you, runs at you.
Too hot to handle.
Here goes. 16 armor class?
Nope.
It just comes up short. You can feel the intense heat as its claws come across you. You're able to just, you thank God you saw it just in the nick of time. But the other one takes every attempt to smother you in flames. And misses you pathetically. It almost tips over probably the loose flour, not loose flour, the loose grain, and it kind of loses its balance slightly, and just missing you. With that, Richter, it's your turn.
All right, well, Richter's first going to move forward. 15 feet, get Kenichi's back. And from there, he can see the swarm of rats. And he has a dumb idea. Let me see how much.
Of course he
far
does.
This is.
Gotta love dumb ideas.
Okay, can I move there?
Yeah, you certainly can.
How big are these mag? Before I do this, how big are these mag?
If you leave that square, they're gonna get an attack of opportunity.
That's fine. Okay. How big are these magmen?
They're like small children. So think of them probably about 4 feet or so.
Okay.
They're small, so they're about 4 feet.
If I make a good grapple check, can I throw these magmen at this swarm of rats?
You could do that. Now, yeah, I mean, you see that they're on fire, and it would probably burn you, but yeah, you could do that.
The great thing about this armor...
They're not made of fire. They have physical mass.
The great thing about this armor is I have resistance to fire damage.
Then rock and roll that shit, man.
So I am going to use...
Okay, so first things first, my Magman takes an attack of opportunity as you dart past it. Here it goes.
That's fine.
So this is Magman number currently. 1. And misses you. It basically just hits your armor. It doesn't do anything. You run across the Magman 4. What do you do?
I want to use my first action to grapple him because I'm assuming I have to use an action to successfully grapple him, and then my second attack to throw the Magman at the...
That is correct.
Okay, so here is my athletics check.
Yep, here is mine. I will use dexterity.
I didn't roll good.
Oh. 13 goes to defenders. So
I thought we rolled again.
No.
My bad.
Ties go to defenders. So you try to grapple him, and he is able to use agility, doesn't use strength, and he's able to squirm as you try to grapple him. Probably because he's hot, even with the resistance, and you just kind of were haphazardly trying to grapple him and fail.
Then I will use my second attack to try again.
Okay, go ahead. Damn you.
Oh no.
Oh! 22! Natural 20! You try to grapple him again, and he darts underneath you. You're like, damn little things, they're fast and hot.
Alright. I will use my bonus action. Damn it. That's my whole thing. Oh, I guess I can do this. I will use my bonus action to summon my brother here. And because I took the attack action, I will spend a constitution point, which I am marking off, to make an additional attack. This is not a grapple, this is just an attack.
Okay.
With the longsword I have.
What was the attack? Oh yeah, you totally hit with that. Go ahead and roll damage.
So I'm smiting this one.
Okay, that's
but it's just 10 damage.
Are you holding? You're holding it double-handed?
I have a shield, so yeah, I am holding it one-handed.
Okay, all right, go ahead. One-handed, go ahead. So six damage, and you're gonna smite him. Which one? 4? You attack 4, right?
I attacked number 3. I summoned my brother right here.
Oh, that's right. Okay, yeah. Okay, so 6 damage. Here we go. So you're gonna see how injured he gets in a second. Right? Again, it goes green, yellow, and then into reddish, which is below 25 hit points. So
and
25%.
I will say to Lorelai, I suggest you get out of the way, because you saw me try and grab this thing twice.
Did you want to smite him?
I'm not a paladin.
Oh, okay. So I heard smite. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So yes, your brother here. Let's.
I did say I would smite him, but that's just me talking.
Let's just put a. Let's see. We got for just smite at least a little generic token for you. Quick.
Here, I know what we can do. Second Richter.
Richter Part 2, let's boogaloo.
Yeah, right. Okay, that works for me. Yeah. Okay, not a problem. All right, Russell.
Alright. We're gonna move up here and we're gonna whack this fellow in the back of the head.
Okay, go ahead. You're just punching him, right, with your thunder gauntlets?
Indeed. Why would I do anything else? I built this armor. Where is my thunder gauntlets? 21 hit.
Of course it does.
11 damage, and then second attack.
You hold on, give me 1 second.
Sorry.
You basically you come behind it and you just hit it, and this thunderous roar comes across it, and you smash its skull completely. Like you grip it, and you just and your fingers dig into it. It's almost like ash and like weak stone, and you're surprised how fragile they are, right? And when you hit him and destroy him and kill him, he explodes into a burst of fire and magma. Every creature within 10 feet must make a dexterity 11 DC dexterity saving throw. It's called a death burst. So that's Kenji and Russell.
So dex save.
Nice.
Okay, and you take half damage if you succeed on the saving throw. So the damage is 2d6. 2 points of damage for both of you. So this thing just explodes into like a fragment of fire. All flammable objects that aren't being worn or carried in the area are ignited, which is really nothing, other than maybe a few of the boxes and the ash that you probably saw on the ground. Just you still have an attack and a move, Russell. What are you going to do?
Not get that close to them again. Yeah, screw it, they need to die. So if I move up here, they'll use up the rest of my move. And is that how that works? I know I've got 2 attacks per attack action, but since I
yeah,
have...
you can do that. Yes.
All right. Well, we're swinging away on this fella.
Okay.
Oof.
That is a miss. A natural 1. You kind of pound into the rock. Oof! When you pound into the rock, like all this like smoke just kind of like hits the area in that little space there. But nothing bad happens other than you just looking cool and cracking rock up against the thing as the thing ducks underneath you. Are you done?
Aye.
Okay.
That's
Kenji.
all I can do.
Kenichi. Or Kinshi. What are you doing?
I think I'm gonna shocking grasp this thing.
Okay. Go ahead. Okay. You hit it with your shocking grasp, right? So like your hands electrocute it, grab it, and the thing explodes. Both of you make a dexterity saving throw, DC 11. As another death birth comes your way.
Ouch.
Oof. So Kenji, you take 9 points of damage, and Barsid, you only take 4. So that, yeah, probably because you're the one who electrocuted it, right? All like your arcane magic just kind of just obliterated it. You see like it's stained up against the wall with its black ash and the marking of this hideous little pungent small creature. And the thing explodes. You're like, oh man, right? And what do you do after that?
I move to there and I'm done.
Okay. Kara.
Kara is using her full 30 feet of movement to get here.
Okay. Oh shoot, I didn't see. Okay, so when you get here, Kara, right here, put your token there if you don't mind.
Okay.
You have a higher passive perception than I rolled stealth, so you see this.
Shit, okay.
Let me describe that to you. Okay, 1 second. You notice a large salamander-like slithering creature made from the sea of ash that comes from the elemental plane of fire. It looks just like that.
So cool.
It's medium sized, not large, just so you know. It was there hiding with like suppressing its flame, but you noticed it because your passive perception's so high. I didn't roll high enough.
All right. Well, as
So what do you do?
As she's rushing forward to help out Richter and Lorelei, she catches view of this fire snake and kind of just like turns sharply and takes a swing at it.
Okay, go ahead.
And as she's swinging, she is going to spend a key point to summon her spectral arms.
Okay, they last for what, 10 minutes, right?
I believe it lasts
A minute or 10 minutes, something like that. But yeah, I
yeah,
know what
10
they
minutes.
do.
Yep, 10 minutes. And so she's going to take 2 swings at the
Fire snake.
fire snake.
Go ahead.
For that first attack, I'm going to spend a key point. Let's see how that works again. There is I think it's the focused. Let's see.
Okay, so the first one,
aim.
your first astral. Oh yeah, is that
Focused aim. I'm spending 2 key points to increase my attack roll by 2, so that'd be a 14 for that first hit.
okay? The 14 definitely hits the fire snake.
Okay.
So like you focus your energy. You know you're gonna miss it, and then you realize that if you just focus your chi and center yourself to the attack, you can't miss, right? A balanced individual will always target accurately. And
Mm-hmm.
you stay calm and collected, even in the surprise of it sneaking up on you, and you just manage to attack it and injure it with your astral, with these cool astral like arms that come out of that are along your sleeve for 10 damage.
Yep, and then the second one was also a 14 for 7 damage.
That hits. And 7 more.
And then, yeah, I'll spend 1 more key point to Flurry of Blows.
You're burning through key. You realize that?
Yeah, yes, I do.
Okay.
There's much dangerous shit ahead.
It's okay. It lasts 10 minutes. I have my arms that last 10 minutes, and I have a key point left. It's fine.
Okay.
That's 2 more attacks, though.
So you attack it again?
Yep.
Okay.
2 more unarmed strikes.
Okay, with the third one, go ahead and roll damage. I'm pretty sure you're going to kill it. Yep. Okay, hold on. So you hit it, you touched it 3 times. It has a heated body.
Okay.
So in your state of attacking, it has any creature within 5 feet can take 1d6 fire damage. So you attacked it 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
So here goes the 3d6 damage. Wow.
Okay,
4
nice. Woo! I'll take it.
It's so dangerous.
Yeah, right. You didn't even notice it in the first because you were like, it was like you're almost a flurry of attacks. You're just going so fast, right? Bah, bah, bah. And then you realize, man, this is why I put my hands in coals and gravel, because I'm a badass monk, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And you completely just wipe out that fire snake. And then just drag it down to the ground. You're like, they never even got a chance to act.
They didn't even. I was about to hit it a 4th time, and then I realized it was dead.
Yes. So you still have an attack and you still have movement.
I do. Well, actually, no. That was my action in the bonus.
Yeah, but
action.
you have 1 bonus action attack left.
Correct.
No, I used that for the
Yeah. So she yes, correct. So she can still move.
Okay.
I can still.
Yeah.
So I'll use the rest of my movement to get here.
Okay. All right. Now I'm gonna roll initiative for my swarm of rats. The swarm of rats. The only thing more chilling than one rat baring its teeth is a swarm of them. The horde, vicious and cunning, is a mass of rank fur with wriggling tails like cadaverous worms. Whatever that might be is no longer cute. About a white one sleeping in a clean cage does not exist in these garbage crawlers and sewage dwellers. At a noise, they all stop, turn their red gazes towards you, and begin to move forward. This is what they look like. Just put this at descending. Okay, Lorelai, you go first.
All right. I've been told to move. Am I gonna do that?
Probably not, because you're stuck.
Probably not.
Excuse me.
So I'm going to try again with my psychic blades.
Who are you attacking first?
I will be attacking number 3.
Okay. And you miss. You're swinging, probably because you see all these rats, the water, you're surrounded by 2 magmen, and it's not nice to be surrounded by magmen and rats and water. So you just miss. It's a bad miss, right?
I can improve that. I have the capacity to improve that roll.
Okay.
I am going to spend one of my psionic energy dice to roll a d8.
Okay.
And add that to my score. God damn it!
You attempt to recenter yourself, unfortunately failing under. Maybe you should get tutelage from the monk and just come up short, unfortunately.
This is why I hate online dice.
They're so bad, aren't they?
They suck.
Don't you make fun of the Roll20 quantum accurate dice.
They're
awful.
They're just terrible. They hate me. I think they're prejudiced. They're definitely they're prejudiced against.
No, they've just met Lorelai. That's all
anybody.
All right. Well, you still have another attack if you like to take it.
Yeah.
Stupid bigoted dice.
These dice are such bigots.
You literally just had to not
You
roll
hit it.
your worst.
You miss yet again.
No, I don't, because I'm gonna use another spell.
Use
Here we go.
another one.
I don't
Please
think
roll
you
a
can
one.
do that for
I
attack
have
rolls.
I have enough of these to waste them, so it's
I
okay.
could have sworn she can.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you can do them for attack rolls.
I think she can do them for attack rolls, I believe. I'm not sure, but I could have sworn she could. I'm not too sure on it, actually. But
Okay.
we'll deal with it. We already went with it. We'll deal with it for now, and then we'll look it up after, since the game's almost going to end here in a minute anyway. So we'll just go with it for now. Well, there you go. You hit it that time. That makes you feel better.
I don't miss.
You hit it. Go ahead and roll damage. And
I do get sneak attack because
it only has 3 hit points left.
oh great.
You collapse. You crush this poor. Again, they're fragile. They're almost like crumbling rock, right? And it explodes. You're like, oh no. I need Richter, you, and
you just
Richter's and Kara to all make DC 10, DC 11 saving throws.
Regardless of what he
Dexterity.
gets, if he takes half damage, my guy dies because he has 1 HP.
Yep.
But I'll roll Richter's. It's a dexterity save?
Correct. For those who fail it, take 7 damage. Those who succeed, take 3 damage.
Do I take 3 or 4 since I have resistance?
If you have resistance, you take 3.
Okay.
You always round down. So yeah, this thing just explodes. Lorelei's like, she was probably really upset because she hasn't been hitting anything for the last 2 turns, and she finally kind of like just like focuses through her rage, which always gets her accurate, and nails it, and the thing explodes in a burst of flame. Okay, what else are you doing, Lorelei?
I'm just gonna, actually, I'll go here.
Yeah, you can do that. Okay. All right.
And I'll be there.
Okay. The swarm of rats are just trying to get away from the water. They see this explosion of fire, and they're kind of confused between the fire and the water, but they continue to push forward, being more afraid of the water than the fire, since it was kind of like a flash fire. They push through, and in fact, they're not like really sentient in attacking. It's literally a swarm of rats trying to get away, biting at anything that gets along the way, including the magman. So several of the rats catch fire as well. So I'm gonna count it as a death burst damage. I think it's fair. So the swarm takes 5 points of damage as rats just get killed by this fire, right? And then they just kind of push through here, and they attack the magman. They don't care. They're just attacking anything they can get their hands on. And failed to do so. Okay. And they even continue, because again, they're not sentient creatures. And the magman chooses not to attack the swarm. And they kind of run past. Lorelei, do you wish to take your attack of opportunity?
I would
against
love
the
to.
swarm of rats? Go ahead. So all these rats are just like ignoring everything, taking 1 attack because that's all they can take, and continue to try to escape the cavern, the mine. Go ahead and make your attack.
I'm gonna quick draw my rapier. Stab.
Yeah, go ahead and roll damage.
Yeah.
Impaling rats.
I
Rat
got some rat kebab.
The blood
Right.
splatter.
Technically, you can do a sneak attack on them because they're adjacent to a friendly.
Yeah,
Oh.
you can only do that once a turn, can't you?
But it's not her turn. She's taking
not
a
her
reaction.
That's true. That's true. You cannot do it
Yeah.
during a reaction. That's right.
Yeah.
Okay. They continue. They took half damage from that. They continue forward. Richter, do you wish to take your attack of opportunity?
No, she should get sneak attack damage because it's not her turn. The only limitation is that she can't do it more than once on her turn.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. That's like
She
a
should
big
get sneak
debate,
attack
right?
damage.
Go ahead. I'll let you get it. It's all good. Go ahead.
So 15 extra sneak attack damage then.
Oh yeah. Ooh, okay. And half damage of that.
So I get a lot more than just like 1 or 2 rats on that shish kebab.
Okay. Richter, do you wish to get your attack? The swarm considerably shrinks after Lorelei stabs. Again, it's a series of attacks, not just one attack. So she's like stabbing, like the rats are on fire, and she's stabbing them like kebabs. You know
what? These rats just seem terrified. I'm not really concerned with killing them.
Okay. They continue forward to their full movement. Kara, do you wish to attack?
Yeah, I was gonna kick the swarm as it runs past.
Just punt one rat in particular.
Yeah, it's
That's
a
a hit.
19 to hit. It's just 4 blish. Just punt the swarm.
Okay. Again,
Tiny blood burn.
the swarm still continues forward. Kenji, do you wish to take your attack of opportunity?
Sure. I have Bowcaster, so I'm going to Shocking Grasp.
Yeah.
Oh.
You're such a badass, dude.
He just grabs one rat and electrocutes it from the others, and they all take mental damage.
Yeah, so basically, like Kenji just kind of comes up to him, and I imagine that he kind of does like this cool pounding attack on the ground, and it like shoots this electrical impulse with a shocking grasp, and just kills the last of the swarm.
Oh.
Holy fuck!
Wow.
Fucking rats,
Ow.
man.
The fucking rats. Oh my god.
Okay,
X-Rats.
the last magmen is just they're not very intelligent creatures. It doesn't fear anything. It doesn't know what's going on. It just seems to be almost in a chaotic form, a physical form, and just attacks the closest person, which is Lorelei. Here goes. Does a 15 hit? And again, fails to just tries to kind of grab you and kind of tackle you, and fails to do so, instead burning a few of the boxes. Lorelei, you can clearly see, and on this turn, when it goes to Richter, the water here begins to spread into the chamber faster and faster. Kind of what's that little tale with the guy who puts his little fingers in the dam? You could tell that like rocks and stuff are pouring through there. Okay, Richter, what do you do?
I will first make an attack with my longsword.
Okay. That's a good hit.
That's 6 damage.
Okay, still up. What do you do next? You slash at the creature, pieces of ash, flame expands out, makes your blade hot, but not enough to injure you.
I'll go ahead and make my second attack with the longsword.
Okay, and that's a critical hit.
17 damage.
You obliterate it. You remove its head from its body. I need Richter, Lorelei, and Kara to make a saving throw. DC 11.
Yeah, these rolls are nuts tonight.
Ooh, 11. So whoever succeeded takes 5 damage. Whoever failed it takes 11. Which everyone succeeded.
I take 2 damage.
Yeah, and if you have resistance, you take half of that, folks. So yeah, this thing explodes, but that fire, unfortunately, makes flammable objects that are not being worn or carried to ignite. All the boxes to the left start to combust, and unfortunately, I need Lorelei, Richter, and Kara to make history rolls.
History?
No, wait, I take that back. Arcana rolls. Arcana. Yeah.
Man, I was gonna throw it too.
If you have a background like Sage, Hermit,
I have Hermit.
You can have advantage.
Okay.
Like something like
okay.
a scholarly background.
That's a nat one. That's a nat one.
My background itself is not specifically scholarly. However, I do have scholarly roots in my backstory. Would that count?
It does not, unfortunately. That's the whole purpose of the background, unfortunately. Okay, so Richter and Lorelei, you can tell that this fire is spreading. You notice that there is explosives like that they use to, dig further into the mine, and this is not good. As you see, what you thought was flour and so forth is actually like the equivalent of gunpowder.
Oh.
And this fire is just spread all along the boxes, and you're like, oh my god, it's not good.
Okay.
Okay, the initiative is over, folks, because the encounter is over. So hold on, let me just put a few things down here. It's kind of being a little bit important, so bear with me here. because we're about to stop, I believe. Hold on. Come on, 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 come on.
Can
I'm listening.
I was wondering, knowing that this is all about to go fucking boom, and I killed it on my turn, can I go ahead and action surge to try and grab the chest, grab the chest as a free action, and dash the fuck away from it?
Okay, hold on. So I'm gonna let everyone take an action. Look at all these little cool little things coming out. Okay,
All right, so
I'm
I
gonna
don't
let
have to
him.
action
So
surge
so
to do
okay,
this.
so the encounter ends literally with the thing, Richter killing it. The thing explodes. Fire, just as you see it on the map, right? Catches onto that one box, and you can see that there's like you can smell like gunpowder, like dynamite, basically, which does exist in the Forgotten Realms D&D, right? Like chemicals that are flammable. Um, what does everyone do? I'm gonna go from closest to farthest. Lorelai, what do you do?
So Lorelai is going to use her full movement to get approximately 90 feet away from this.
Actually, I might do this 10 feet from that. Yeah. Okay. Richter.
Richter is going to use his action to dash.
Mhm.
He's going to use 10 feet of or do I have to use 10 or 15 feet of movement to get to this chest?
Which chest are we talking about?
This one that right here.
Oh, okay. So yeah, it would just be 10 feet.
Okay, so 10 feet to get to the chest.
An action to pick it up. Yeah. And then what else?
Or a bonus action to pick it up, right?
It's an action. You're interacting with an object. Picking up a weapon's an action.
Oh, I thought it was a free action. Okay, then I
Yep.
will
You use your interact with an object.
Yeah.
if he's saying it's an action, I'll go ahead and action.
No, I mean,
for it.
it. Am I wrong? He can interact with like small objects. I thought like picking up an actual object was an action. Not?
I don't know if it is or not.
It's fine.
I'll
I get
follow
it. You know
your
what?
rules.
Let's not destroy the mood. No, go ahead.
Oh,
What do you
okay.
want to do? No, go ahead. Yeah.
I'll
man. I mean,
grab
what's the
this
big deal?
chest,
Be heroic. You should never
and I
discourage heroism, folks. Lesson number 1 as a DM: never discourage heroism. All
I
right.
see that Lorelai is running this way.
Yeah, like fast as fuck.
Lorelai's gone.
And I'm just bolting in the first direction, so a total of 60 feet.
Okay.
So I can go here, here, and then whatever's up here. I don't know what's up there, but
Okay,
that's
go
where
ahead
I'm
and
going.
go ahead and push your token where it ends.
And I'm
up,
just
okay?
saying, fucking
So-
move.
Okay, so we can actually grab. I'll just grab the fire. It represents you with.
Just
the
want to
thing.
say, I wasn't trying to nitpick with you. Oh, is it
No,
on fire?
No, it's cool, man. Yeah, the box is on fire.
Oh, then I will action surge to put it out.
Okay. No, it's fine. It's on fire. It's not enough to hurt you. Think of like a box that's on fire, and like a cardboard, like a box, and it's like burning. It's not cutting through, and you're running with this box that's on
Okay.
fire. Right.
All right.
So that's what
Then
you
I
do.
won't
So
action surge yet if it's not.
Okay.
If it doesn't seem like it's full of explosive.
I mean, it could be. It couldn't be. You're not sure. You haven't looked in the box.
Okay. Then I will go ahead and action surge to douse this flame.
Okay, so you're like, I imagine that you kind of probably have like a cloak, and you just kind of like dump it over, and
Yes.
you easily extinguish it as per the rules.
All right. Yeah. If it were explosives, I've just killed us all.
Okay, Kenshi. There's one more fire left spreading. You're sure something's not quite right, as you could smell, right? This smell of just, it's never good, right? Like an ignited thing.
I'm gonna try to douse it.
With?
Well, I mean, I have a cloak, but how big is this box? Like, what's on fire exactly?
Just like it's like dry iron ration. So there's like rice, anything that would be considered an iron ration for long-term hold, right? So like probably beans, rice, grain, and then there's a few other things mixed in there that could combust, right? As you know, flour is like could be used as a flash fire, like that.
So how about instead of charging right up to it, can I mage hand like 10 pounds of dirt and try to smother it?
I will say if you make an athletics roll, you successfully douse the fire. I'll say it's a DC relatively simple, so I'll say DC 12.
Can I make acrobatics instead of athletics?
You know what? Use your spell attack. I think that's more. Oh no, you can use acrobatics. Sure. Yeah, I'm okay with that. Doesn't defeat what we're doing here. so Kenji's like he's like doing his mage hand, and he's doing the best he can, slide a hand to get the hand to cover it. Just as his mage hand covers it with dirt, the fire kind of jumps onto another piece of wood, and he just can't seem to extinguish it. What else do you want to do, Kenji?
Then in that case,
Dipping out.
Okay, Russell. Oh, I'm sorry, Kara.
Yeah, Kara is also full movement, dipping the fuck out.
Russell.
Man.
Okay, so this may not work, but you can tell me if it would work or not. Can I, using catapult, tear the lid or the panels of the box, whatever's actually on fire, and just send it shooting off toward the water?
Yeah. Okay. Let me see here. Go ahead and make an attack. I will give it the same hardness armor class as a normal iron as a wooden chest. So its armor
the thing
class
is with catapult is it's a dex save.
Oh, it's a
for the
dex
box.
save. Okay.
I don't think the box has great dexterity.
What are you,
You know what?
guessing it at?
If you're,
God
you know
damn,
what? If
this
you're,
is a dexterous box.
is that that's not a cantrip, right?
No, it's a
You know what?
first level
Because
spell.
you're,
I could calculate.
you know what?
I could
Because
guess
you're
a second.
expending a first level spell to do something cool like that. What do you want to do, bro? That's what you want to do?
Yes, I want the
Yeah.
flaming box to go
Look,
sailing
man.
off into the water. With
That
a
is cool,
resounding
right? You're
of water
you're
going
expending
off.
a first level spell. I'm absolutely okay with that, right? So you
Alright.
like Russell kind of pushes up, and he's like no, right? And he just kind of you catapult what, like a rock?
No, the box itself. So it's just
The box
I take
itself.
an object that goes
that's
flying.
Cool. Yeah, and
So
you
the-
kind of and you can throw it what, like 60 feet or something, or 120, right?
100 feet.
Yes.
Yeah, and you just extinguish it in the water.
Y'all, I
That's
used my
very
most
cool.
valuable
That's
ability
very
for
cool.
this.
And you are given an inspirational point, my friend.
Huzzah!
Right? Because that's cool. You're expending a first level spell to do something very cool like that, right? Everyone's running away, and Russell runs towards. There's those that run to the fire and those that run away from the fire. We know who that is.
March to the sound of the gun.
And those who grab something that looks valuable and then bolts.
Right?
So in my head, after this, Russell immediately goes over to Richter and just holds out a fist bump.
Richter's panting. His cloak is now singed. He goes,
Okay.
"Good job, man."
Hey, not by yourself, lad.
Okay, Richter.
I need to breathe for a minute.
Okay,
Perfectly understandable.
we're almost at our end time. We are over our end time, correct?
I thought we ended
I think
at
that's
11.
Is it 11:30? Okay. It's 11:30, right? Okay, just
Yeah.
want to be sure. Okay, so at this point, Richter. So he saves the day. It's a moment of inspiration. He's like, wow, this guy's like, man, Russell's legit, right?
Yes.
But Richter notices something in the distance here, from what I can see here, and he sees a dead miner. Okay. This one
I
should
didn't
be
even see
safe.
that on my
This one should be safe. I changed it. The body lies face down in a pool of blood, gore spilling from where something bashed and tore open the dwarf's side. Whatever struck the killing blow seems to have hit him with tremendous amount of force from behind, perhaps as he ran away. You can easily guess he was a miner by his clothes.
Hey, y'all, there's another dead body up ahead. This one's not dressed in full armor like the other, miners. So I think that was probably a legitimate miner. And I don't think the other ones back there are legitimate miners.
Okay, everyone, go ahead and move up to double your move, and just tell me what you want to do. If you want to search, if you're looking, investigating, what are you doing about the water, if anything at all. So I'm going to go from closest to the farthest. So Richter kind of already said what he was doing. Then goes Russell.
All right. So where's the water coming in from? Was it over here? Over here?
Over.
Number 4, right?
Yep.
Okay. All right. Well, I'd go over and see.
Yeah, he doesn't know because he can't see that far. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
So I would get closer to the sound of the water and see if there's any way I can shore up where it's coming in, or.
Okay. So go ahead and I will give you advantage. Just make stone cutting and stuff like that falls under history, if I remember correctly. Make a history roll with advantage because you're an engineer. You're not. Wow.
See if you
Okay.
get
Oh, wait,
better.
wait,
That's
that's the
kind of
first
low for
one.
you.
That's the first one. He's like, oh, look at the first one, degree.
Oh,
So
okay.
Russell
22.
Russell using his keen mind and his great sense of engineering skill realizes that it's not as bad as it seems, but it is fatal to stay here long term. Using mathematics and engineering, you guess you have maybe a few hours at most before this entire floor is flooded.
All right, folks. We just got a couple hours here. Let's either get some workers in to stop this flooding, or at the very least get the wounded out. But in a few hours, this place is all going to be underwater.
Benji.
I'm gonna move forward and take a peek around the corner.
Okay.
I'm gonna, look for. This looks funky to me. I'm gonna look for anything hidden, traps, whatever.
Go ahead and make your perception roll. You suck.
Just rocks. Rocks around tonight.
Particularly large rock right about there.
We're in a mine. Of course, we're going to find gold.
So you observe and you realize that someone has created a false, think of like a camouflaged pit.
Like on the tracks, where the tracks would be.
Yes, just as you're seeing there on the thing here. Let me put it on the map.
I'm gonna call out. There's a tiger trap on the tracks ahead.
And you're like, whoa. Now, as you get closer to it, you can clearly see that this was absolutely not done by natural means. Meaning, there's no mechanism. Like literally, think of a hole and then just gravel that has been built almost as a bridge. The precision, the accuracy required to do something like this would have to be either extreme magical potential or extreme feats of engineering, and you just don't see a plausible way that this dirt or ground should be camouflaged, but you discovered it through your keen sense of observation.
Russell, you want to have a look at this?
At 8? What is it? Where are you? Sorry, I cannot see well in here.
That's all right. Just follow the sound of my voice.
At 8.
Okay, we'll come back. Okay, Kara?
Yeah, Kara is going to see, after seeing that the fire was extinguished, move back up to where the rest of the group is.
Okay. Again, you see kind of Russell and Kenji, and now that he's pointed it out to everyone, you can kind of see, because he hasn't touched anything, right? So again, I want to stress, think of like a blanket of dirt that shouldn't be standing, right? That shouldn't be, it's not held up by anything, right? Think of it like that, right? And you can clearly see that something's just not right. It looks almost like a piece of stone was just moved from out of the ground. And it's just, it looks very unusual to you, Kara.
Okay.
Okay. Lorelai.
Checking on a thing that I might be able to do real quick.
Okay. I see you way down there. So
yeah, I did kind of
Okay. What are you gonna do?
Actually, okay. So I'm not actually gonna go fully back in.
Okay, that's fine. You can put your token anywhere up to where the group is. That's fine. We're out of combat. I'm just doing it to keep things, at pace, so everyone gets to do something.
Lorelai is gonna get where she can see the group, and I can see them from here because, holy crap, dark vision.
Yeah.
She'll see Hara.
You can see all the way up to Kenji. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm going to use Psychic Whispers.
Oh, okay.
Actually, I'll use that on Kara, Russell, and Kenichi.
Okay.
And I gotta roll 1 Psychic Psionic Energy die. And we can now communicate telepathically for the next 7 hours.
Hey.
Damn.
That's cool. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Psychic screen. Yeah, psychic whisper. That's cool.
You guys can't communicate with each other telepathically, however, you can communicate with me. After doing this, I'm going to walk back to the
That's
entrance, and I'm going to let them all know I'm going to see what's really going on with this mine. I will be outside. Tell me if anything happens.
Wow, okay. All right, with that, we'll go back to Richter. Richter?
First thing I'm doing is I'm cracking open this chest.
Okay, so you open the chest and you just find a bunch of flour.
Is it actual flour?
Yeah, flour.
Why did they put it in a chest?
F-L-O-U-R.
Everything, all the other flour was in a crate.
All the other flour was also maybe gunpowder?
I just...
Actually, what's the difference?
I'll go ahead and grab, like, a big sack
Uh-huh.
and fill it with the flour.
Okay.
And then, is everyone okay if I took the alchemist fire from earlier?
Yeah, that would make a nice boom.
I'm going to put the alchemist fire inside the bag of flour.
Okay,
Oh, yeah.
got it. Okay, so you're like, destructing. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you want to move?
And then I will, if I can, I'd like to head back to the rest of the group, but I want to stop and see what's in these crates down here.
Okay. All right. Go ahead and make an investigation roll.
Okay. I got a +1 to that. It's going to be a rock.
Oh.
Told you.
Okay.
Told you.
So you shift through those crates that are down at the bottom there, and you're surprised to find cheap ores. But again, they're ore. So you're not sure on the appraisal value, but you assume they're probably, if given to someone who knows about gems and jewelry, could probably hawk them for about 25 to 50 gold worth. There's like small little pieces of ore all in those boxes. You've got about 50 gold pieces worth of it.
Okay, and we can move up to double our movement.
Yeah, you can go ahead. You can move anywhere you want. I get it. Like I understand what everyone's sort of doing, right?
Like I just can't see fucking anybody. I don't know where people are. There we go.
Actually, Russell and I both have light sources on us.
Yeah, no, he can see. He can see. Yeah, I can see what he sees. He can see Kara, Russell, Kenichi, and.
My bad then. I just the way Roll20 works, I couldn't. So from here, no, I can't see where they are. I can see light sources. But, okay, yeah. I guess that's because there's stuff in the way.
Yeah, I can see because I can click on your token and see what you see, and I can see clearly.
Oh my god, Roll20, why are you being like this?
There you go.
Let me close some of these tabs.
That's probably why. Okay, now we go back to.
I'm moving the rest of the way up to the.
Okay, so I'll let kind of all three of you interact and discuss what you think is going on. This is Kenichi, Kara, and Russell. So you approach it, Russell. And again, it's as I described it. Think of a hole, and then think of like a blanket that's levitating above it. That's attempting to conceal
like there's
it.
a thin layer of dirt levitating above the hole.
Yes.
Y'all, I'm pretty sure there's a way around this if we just go the other way. It's where that dead miner is, though.
I want to poke it with a stick.
You want to what?
Poke it with a stick.
When you poke it with a stick, all the dirt falls down this it's only about 20 feet, and all the dirt just falls. Make an Arcana roll. I will give you advantage.
Ooh.
Again, because of your engineering artificer background. 24. So you let's just do something cool from what I read on your backstory. So you realize that you've never seen it firsthand, but you've read reports of it during your studies of great feats of engineering. that when someone summons something like an earth elemental, these remnant lingering forms of magic can exist, and you're pretty sure that an earth elemental was born in this very spot.
Okay. So since
You can
Russell would
explain that
know,
however
but
you
I'm a
like.
D&D newbie, what the devil is an earth elemental?
Just think of a rock golem, like
Okay.
an entity made of pure rock,
All right.
like the thing, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
So next question. Are these hostile, benign, or does it depend on who
They
created them?
it depends. It's a servant, and they can go wild if the servant, if the master dies, for example. They
All
can
right.
go out of control if they choose not to go back to their plane of existence.
Okay. So I will tell his others. No. All right. Well, it's not something invisible with a layer of dirt on top of it. Instead, it seems like it was the residual magic of the summoning of an earth elemental, which may explain the distraction, possibly. They they're tough beasties, but temperament totally depends on whoever summoned it. So no way to tell whether it's hostile or friendly from this here. But considering the state of things, something unfriendly came through.
Anyone who's nearby, feel free to react to that statement.
Does Lorelai get any of this information? Are you
You
guys
you can
letting her know?
converse, right? You can
Incredibly
hear.
grudgingly,
Uh huh.
Russell would let her know through the telepathic link,
Okay.
also sending not friendly thoughts.
There you go.
He doesn't approve of mind magic.
Lorelai returns with the equivalent of simultaneous thank you, as well as a middle finger. Like, thank you very much. Thank you for cooperating.
Kara? Hello? She muted? Or is she?
Kara?
Hello? Oh, sorry.
Yeah, no, it's all right.
So just hearing about this, I mean, she wouldn't really know anything about them, but just gonna take a mental note of it.
Okay. As you are all kind of conversing what's happening, I'll go to Lorelai real quick. So Lorelai, what are you doing out there? Just because I'm very curious on what you're doing out there.
I just want to find the fat guy in charge.
Okay, you find him right by the entrance. He's helping. He's the Edler. He seems very sensitive about what's happened, and there's some miners who probably didn't make it very far from the entrance of the mine, and so he's out there trying to do his best to control the flow of traffic and trying to keep his people calm. He's the Edler of the hamlet. He sees you, and he's glad to see you. Yes. So. Are there survivors?
We assume that there's some, however, further investigation is required. I would like to discuss with you the nature of this mining operation.
Of course. We discovered it about a month ago. We know nothing of mining, and we were able to open a contract with a dwarven miners, a guild that specialize in pulling ores, and they take a percentage. Is something wrong?
Okay, now I would like you to tell me the truth about the nature of this mine.
Go ahead and roll an insight check.
Oh boy.
Fucking stab his throat.
God damn it! Come on!
Hey, he says, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm telling you the truth. Why? What's going on? Please.
This mine has been here longer for 1 month. There are many layers to this mine.
I wouldn't know. I've never been in there. We discovered it. We had an initial survey done, and we summoned these dwarves, and they've been working around the clock. We found it a little unusual, but we just figured that's what dwarves do here.
Who did you summon for the survey?
Well, as we said, we notified the city of Yartar. we did go through the proper channels. We did have some issues and permits that had to be taken care of through the Emerald Enclave, but that's very standard, I assure you. For those that don't know, the Emerald Enclave is basically a faction that believes in like nature, making sure that it works in unison with. This is common knowledge. Think of them as like tree huggers. They're a political faction of tree huggers.
Oh God.
What's best for nature?
Right,
They try
I'll
to
get the
forward,
flamethrower.
they try to forward that as much as possible, not in a violent way. They believe that nature and land and civilization can work hand in hand. Is there something you want to tell me? I don't understand what you're getting at.
Lorelei at the moment is silent, but I am currently thinking of questions to ask.
Okay. He goes, okay, well, all right. And, you know, he doesn't appreciate you staring him down like that, but he, you know, what is he going to do? He's just a fat guy, right? So he just kind of goes around helping people best he can.
I feel like
You
we
know?
should refer to him by something else. Like, there should be a different feature. Like,
Well, it's just, you know, because he's constantly like putting his fingers there and he's very gluttonous and he's friendly, but, you know, he's gluttonous and that's just kind of how it is.
I get that, but let's not make that the
He's
most
friendly,
defining
but he's also a
feature.
fat ass.
Yeah. Okay, going back to everyone else.
Again,
what do you
here's
guys
my
all
man
do?
titty. It's not,
Yeah.
it's not that
So-
bad.
So Lorelei's. Now I'm assuming you're communicating this, yes?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm repeating every word back to them.
Yeah. So you know Kenji, and you said who else was it? Was it just one
That's all I
player? Or,
believe.
No, it was
Kenichi,
Kenichi,
Russell, and Kara.
yeah. So both of you are like kind of gearing. Like it's kind of. I would imagine it's kind of annoying hearing like a double voice, like kind of like having an earpiece in, and you hear her having a conversation, and she's kind of explaining kind of what's happening as you're trying to focus on this what you know what Russell just said. So what do you all do now?
There's one thing I really want to do before we go. You said there was actual gunpowder in these barrels.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and take the alchemical fire out, dump out the flour, fill the bag with ball bearings and gunpowder, and then
Okay.
put the alchemical fire in.
Okay. So for
boy.
game terms, we'll use the rules of there's actual dynamite. I think there's like
Okay.
a small bundle of dynamite stats, which I believe is like almost. I think it's 5d6. I gotta look it up, but that's what we'll count it as. And then
Alright.
plus the alchemist fire. I'll have the stat ready by next session. That'll be
I
ten.
want to find whoever included that in D&D and smack them over the head with a chemistry textbook.
Okay.
We should have so much other stuff if we've got dynamite.
Okay, so since I know we're just slightly over time, and just to end on a nice little cliffing note, as you guys are kind of discussing this, and Richter's over there pulling barrels, right? So this takes minutes. This isn't like he's just like
He's over
instantly
here
knows which
making a
box.
fucking ball.
Right, now remember,
Like-
I was very specific about the description that it looked like somebody was already ransacking through the boxes. A lot of them were pried open and so forth. So like you're already looking, and it looks like someone's already ransacked through most of the stuff here, right? The things they left are things that they probably assumed were not very valuable. But just as you're going through, and all of a sudden, off in the distance, and please adjust your volume because this is going to be really good. You start hearing this. Now, bear with me here.
Karam! Udamai! Paral!
Hey guys, there's a fight going on. I'm pretty sure it's dwarves.
Ansaru Kitnul! Ifridi Bekar!
Oh fuck, there's some serious shit going down. There's arrows, there's clanging. Yeah. Oh fuck, I think I just heard a bomb.
Sounds like
There's a lot.
arrows or crossbow bolts.
He is dedicated just speaking in his truth. I tell you what, he has not stopped talking once. He is just.
And with that, folks,
It sounds a lot like what the chant was. Oh god, there was another hammer strike. I think they're fighting the earth elemental that you guys said is southern.
and with
Oh, it's
that,
not going well for them. Or maybe it is. It's just starting to sound very similar. I think that they're kind of locked in combat.
you hear that
I don't
echoing
think
through the
anyone's making any
chamber.
progress.
with that sound, you hear things echoing through the chamber, and we will end our first session into a two-part adventure into the past of the Knight's Tale, folks.
We can't hear anything you're saying, man.
I am turning down my music.
Yeah.